Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto saves Ruby and rwby. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by Romanian Maniac 300 and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. Let's start. The famous Beacon Academy is living up to its name today. As freshmen are entering the main gate looking for a bright future as huntsmen and huntresses, you could feel the excitement. However, for one Ruby Rose, this has to be one of the most embarrassing moments of her life. Just a few seconds ago, her dear sister Yang ditched her to go with some friends that she never saw or will see. In this amount of time, she managed to trip over some rich girl's luggage. The said rich girl become really angry because, apparently, she nearly broke a whole lot of dust that could have exploded. And to make it worse, she is so pissed that she won't even listen to her while she tries to say sorry. This white-haired girl is now shaking a vial of the said explosive material right in her face while red clouds spread closer to her nose. Before Ruby could sneeze, a firm hand found its way over her mouth and another one around the white-haired girl's wrist, stopping her from shaking the vial. They both turned their heads to see who is the savior barbaric man who stopped her from making her point. In the moment they made eye contact with this person, Ruby had a second thought about talking with this guy. Right beside them was a blonde teen that is dressed with a black jacket with a collar high enough to cover the lower part of his face. His pants were brown with an orange line on each side and black army-like boots. On a second glance at his hands, Ruby could see a pair of fingerless red gloves with a steel plate on the outer part. His hair was the same shade as her sister's, but way shorter and yet still long enough to cover his forehead. However, what made Ruby reconsider talking with was not his rebel look. No. It was the strange tattoo over the left side on his face and his strong-looking arms that made him look mean. The tattoo is consisted out of 3 parts. The first part is a circle around his eye. The second was horn-like extension, hollow on the inside that was pointed toward his temple. Finally, there was a thin chain going down his cheek, but she couldn't see where it stops because of the collar. The chain itself wasn't made out of links, but weird characters that she never saw before. Unknown to Ruby, this person is none other than Uzumaki Naruto. "Ah, excuse me, but why are you touching me all of a sudden?" said the white-themed girl. "That vial leak," said the boy with an uncaring tone, "you should be more careful with them." The girl finally noticed the red clouds of dust that are the same shade as her cheeks. "Right now, that's none of your business. Now let go of me." As soon as he stopped his hold, Weiss took her suitcase, still feeling embarrassed that she did such a great mistake as forgetting to check the state of the vial. The boy moved his hand away from Ruby's mouth. "Thank you. I really needed some help there," said the girl. "There's no need for thanks. I choose the best option for this kind of situation. It's for the better if we don't have a large explosion on our first day here." With this, the strange boy left Ruby alone. "Yeah, this sure is the best choice and he left. Great job making friends, Ruby," said the girl to herself. "Hey, I am John," she heard from behind. Turning around, she saw a tall blonde boy who has his hand ready for a handshake. "Hey, I am Ruby." She accepted his gesture. "Aren't you the boy who threw up after getting off the ship?" Despite the distance between them, the blonde boy could hear their interaction. They seemed to be good people. Maybe it would be a good idea to befriend them. Later the boy decided to pay more attention to the ones around him. Under all the excitement and happiness he could feel many other feelings. Anxiety, impatience, fear, you name it, they have it. But the most common one was hope. They have hope that they will be able to accomplish something by coming here. This is a really nice place. Way better than Konoha. Even if he wanted to spend more time admiring the place, he has to find the amphitheater. He searched around with his eyes to see where the majority is going, but it was useless. The second and third year students were also there and moving in random directions. In this kind of crowd it's hard to even recognize people. However, he is lucky. Near a tree there is a lone boy that wasn't wearing a uniform. He may be another freshman that could give him directions. As he got closer, the teen could see who is the person that is sitting alone. He is a tall, bulky, auburn-haired young man. He is wearing a gray armor and doesn't look that friendly. "Better find someone else." "Hey!" yelled the teen at him. "What's your deal, freak? Why are you staring at me?" "Sorry. I was going to ask you where could I find the amphitheater." The other teen made a few steps toward him. "Who are you supposed to be?" "Got to say, nerd, that dumbass fake tattoo of yours nearly tricked me. Bet that you are just some loser who tries to look good. I see that you are not a social person, so I am not going to waste any more breath on you." Naruto turned around just for a hand to catch his right shoulder. "I said that I am going to leave." There was no emotion in his voice or on his face, but this guy is unknowingly playing with a very dangerous fire. "And I am not done with you. I asked you a question. And you better give me an answer. Get used to it because this is how things will go from now on." "Remove your hand from my shoulder," ordered Naruto. Before he could finish, Naruto made a perfect judo throw that left the other boy on the ground. Sorry, he dusted his shoulder, but you left me no choice. Feel free to come back to me for revenge anytime you want after we become full-fledged students. For now, I wish you a good day. With it, he left to look somewhere else for direction. A few minutes later, Naruto finally reached his destination with the help of a map that he found on a billboard. It seems the teachers were expecting for some new students to get lost in such a big school, so they put a couple of them around the campus. The rest of the freshmen could barely hold their excitement. His attention was caught by a couple of yells that came not too far from him. It seems that the white-haired girl started the second round of scolding for the red hood-wearing girl. Poor thing. She doesn't stand a chance against the rich girl when it comes to legal obligations. Luckily for her, two people walked on the stage. The first one was a tall woman with blonde hair, while the other was gray-haired man. This are Glinda Goodwitch and Osborne, the headmaster of Beacon Academy. Ahem, I'll keep this brief. Started the man. You have traveled here today in search of knowledge. To hone your craft and acquire new skills. And when you have finished, you plan to dedicate your life to the protection of the people. But I look among you and all I see is wasted energy in need of purpose, direction. You assume knowledge will free you of this, but your time at this school will prove that knowledge can only carry you so far. It is up to you to take the first step. With this said, Osborne left the stage. Glinda got closer to the mic. You will gather in the ballroom tonight. Tomorrow your initiation begins. Be ready. You're dismissed. Well, this speech sure was an efficient way to bring us back to reality. Later. In the ballroom. Naruto was sitting on the floor with a lot of pieces of paper in front of him. In his hand was a small brush and a bottle of ink. On every piece of paper there was a different symbol. He didn't had anything else to do, so he decided to look through his seals to see if any of them needs to be reconstituted. Even with the vast variety of seals offered by Fuinjutsu, it is not a wonder why not many people practice it. Just one wrong move of the brush while making it and it won't work at all. The other found other activities to fill their time. Some of the boys were trying to impress the ladies with their bodies. Others were talking with people that they already know, like that girl that was ready to sneeze a hole in front of the school. And lastly, there were the ones that decided to end their school lives before they even start. Well, the one. But he decided to not give that boy too much attention. John, if he remembered his name correctly. Even with the total lack of activities, he can't say that he isn't in a good mood. Despite the fact that his face didn't show it, Naruto was feeling safe in this kind of environment. He could blend in and live like a normal human, exactly like how he wished all that time back in Konoha. On the other side of the room, Ruby and her sister continued their talk. I didn't get to take my friends with me to school. It's weird not knowing anyone here. On top of that, I already made myself look like a total dum-dum in front of somebody, said Ruby. What about John? He's nice. There you go. Plus one friend. That's a 100% increase, said Yang. Ruby laid on her back. I'm pretty sure that the girl from this morning counts as a negative friend. Back to zero. There's no such thing as negative friends. You just made one friend and one enemy. Ruby's response was a dog head-shaped pillow thrown in her face. Look, it's only been one day. Trust me, you've got friends all around. You just haven't met them. There was a pause after that sentence. By the way, in front of who exactly did you made yourself look like a dum-dum? You told me that you didn't got along with that white-haired chick, but didn't told anything else. Ruby moaned out of shame. It was this guy who passed by when that girl was shaking the vial in front of me. Well, he did help me a lot by stopping me from sneezing. That was the last thing that I needed at the moment. But after that, I tried to talk with him. And it's not like he was rude or anything, but just trying to do this was so awkward that I wanted to dig myself a grave on the spot. Like seriously, who does that? Somebody just helped me and I couldn't bring myself together enough to even act like I have social skills. Well, this does sound like a bad first impression, but don't worry, sis. You just have to show him that you are not strange. Because you are just a bit different. Now tell big sis how does Mr. Good Guy looks like. He was, well, I don't want to be mean, but he is hard to forget. He has this weird tattoo on the left side of his face. Oh, and he also has blonde hair like you. Tattoo and blonde hair. Mhhhh, you are talking about that guy. He pointed toward Naruto. Even with all the students in the room, he still stands out. From where they were, it seems that he is wearing a pair of black shorts and a white undershirt. This is going to be his sleep attire. Yeah, is him. Why? Because this is everything I had to know. She got up and caught her sister by her right arm as she makes her way toward Naruto. Well, wait. I am not ready for this. It's too soon for this. My heart isn't ready. Chill out, Ruby. You are not going to marry him or anything. Just talk. Hey there, stud. Finished Yang. Naruto turned his head and looked around him. Is that supposed to be me? Yes. I am Yang and this is my little adorable sister Ruby. She told me that you helped her this morning, so we wanted to thank you. Right, Ruby? The younger sister was trying to dig a hole through Yang's head with her glare. Yes. Want to thank you. You really helped me back there. It would have been a huge mess to blow a hole in front of the school in the first day in many ways. As much as I appreciate your words, I already told you that there is no need for thanks. I am not the type of person that would let the ones around me get hurt without doing something. He finished with a friendly smile. "So continued Yang. I can't help but note of your tattoos." She pointed toward the tattoo on his face, whose chain of incoherent words continued his heart. However, neither of them could tell what was under the undershirt and two other on his wrists. Yang also thought for a second that the whisker marks on his cheeks were tattoos as well, but they seemed too natural. Nothing against them. By the way, do you know any good tattoo artist? I really thought about getting one myself. Maybe a fire-spiting dragon on my back or something like that. Dad will kill you if you do that, pointed Ruby. Dad will not be able to do anything about it when I will be 18 and use my own money for that. Well, sorry but I can't point you any. These are self-made. And they are not just for show. They are part of my fighting style. Yang tried to rewind what he said in her head a few seconds. I don't follow. How can tattoos help you in battle? Before he could respond, the same bully who got thrown to the ground by Naruto decided to make his presence be known. Hey freak. Don't you think that you should at least show respect to your better? Naruto turned around to see that he brought another 3 guys with him back up. I knew that you are just a nerd, but who would have thought that you are filthy animal as well, he said, while bending a bit to punch him in his right cheek. Hey. What's your deal? Yang's scream got everyone's attention. Out of my way. I have business with him. But Yang was stopped by Naruto, who raised his hand. I can handle it. He got up and looked at Carton in the eyes. I told you already. If you want to start something you can come after the initiation. And how can you stop me from doing it now? I won't, was his blunt reply. It's clear that I can't reason with you. If you want to do something you can be my guest, but I am not responsible for anything that the teachers will do to you or if they decide to kick you out. Carton growled in annoyance. Fine, you coward. Take your time. Like any other Franus, you just have to be annoying. He turned around and prepared to live. What a douchebag, said Yang. You should not let him walk over you like this. I intend to. I just have too much to lose if I fight back now. After tomorrow, I will make sure that things like this won't happen anymore. How? Asked Ruby. You will see. For now it's best to not think about it. We do have to be mentally and physically prepared for the initiation. Yeah, you're right, declared the youngest of the group right before a loud growl was heard from her stomach. Haha, sorry. I could really use a snack right now. I didn't had any sweets since I left Patch. Do you think that the cafeteria is still open? No, answered Naruto. Wait a second. He longed for his jacket that was on the floor, not far from them, just over the pile of paper. He was holding it by collar with his right hand while searching through it with his left. But not in the pockets like any normal person. No. His hand went literally through the jacket like it was some kind of portal to God. No, where. Yang was staring with her jaw hanging, while Ruby had stars in her eyes. When Naruto pulled his hand out, he was holding a chocolate bar. Here. Have some. Ruby blinked so her eyes could go back to normal. However, the amazement was still there. Are you a wizard? Asked the girl with hope. No. But I do have some tricks up my sleeve. He winked with his left eye. Whoa. Said Yang. What else do you have in there? You know. The necessary. Any other sweets? Asked Ruby, who finished the chocolate bar already. Ruby, we told you to not eat so fast. Sorry. Naruto, for his part, was already searching for anything else. He even had to put his head inside. Oh god, the girls heard his voice from the other side. He pulled his head out and looked at them. Strange question. By any chance, does any of you want ice cream? The sisters give each other a look. Sure, why not? Why do you ask? Said Yang. I just found some ice cream that I packed for a trip to Vacuo some time ago. I was supposed to stay 3 months in the desert, but I stayed just 2. I literally have 1 month worth of ice cream that expire next week and I don't want to throw it away, he explained. Oh cool. Exclaimed Yang while Ruby gained a happy smile, but I must warn you. First, you saved Ruby and now you are spoiling us with sweets. You going the right way to calling me sister-in-law. Yang. Said a flustered Ruby. Don't know about that. I travel a lot. Do you think that she can keep up? Naruto decided to play along with the oldest sister. Ruby's cheeks gained a new shade of red. Yeah, you are right. It wouldn't be a good idea. But that wouldn't matter if you two met. For the love of God, stop already and give me ice cream, said Ruby. The two blondes nodded a bit before Yang spoke again. Sorry Ruby. But now for real. Please wait a bit until I bring my things here. Usually I get lazy after eating late night and I could use some ice cream to chill out a bit. Good idea, said Ruby before realizing something seriously. Yang. First, tease and now puns. Let me have one night without any of this. Not going to happen, Ruby. Naruto smiled at this scene. This two really get along together. He was almost feeling jealous. But this aside, he is glad that there are people like them around. With a bit of luck, maybe he really can make some friends here after all. Who is he kidding? There are at least 100 people who can say for sure that if it comes to luck, he is already the winner. By the end of this 3 years, he is going to be loved by 90% of the students, or more. That does sound like a good goal for the future. He decided to stop thinking about this for now. The boy searched through his jacket again, this time pulling a large ice cream tub. Thank me for coming with this bright idea. The seal on his jacket is one of his few ninjutsu masterpieces. It allows him to create an entire pocket dimension where he can store all his belongings without having to worry that they would be stolen. As similar as it is with a rwby storage seal, this one allows even living things to go inside without any troubles. Not to say that is way more convenient. Even if he is standing with the rest of the freshmen and sleeping in a sleeping bag, he could as well just put the jacket somewhere safe, go inside his pocket dimension, where he has a warm bed waiting for him, and get out of there when the morning to come. This saved him a lot of monies that normal people would have spent on hotels during his travels. Naruto took out another 2 tubes and 3 spoons. All this talk about ice cream made him want some. However, as soon as he finished the preparation, he felt another presence beside him. Looking to his right, Naruto couldn't see anyone. If you want some you can ask. I have plenty to spare. He said it loud enough to not be heard by the ones that sat close to him. He doesn't want to be branded as the crazy guy. Like magic, a girl appeared right where he was looking. This girl is petite and has her hair split in the middle in 2 different colors. The right side is pink while the left side chocolate brown. She wearing a white tank top and a pair of pink bloomers. She is looking with wide eyes at him. This made Naruto realize that her eyes match her hair. What is it? Asked Naruto. She made a couple of hand gestures that he couldn't understand. I will guess that you can't talk. She nodded. Well then, I will ask. Do you want some? She nodded again. Suit yourself. He pushed a tub of vanilla flavored ice cream and a spoon toward her. The girl opened the lid and started eating right away. Naruto wanted to laugh. She is as straightforward as a child. This is not always a bad thing. It actually made her look cute. He didn't waste any more time and made another tub and a spoon appear. The girl bent over hers and tried to reach his jacket. It seems that the piece of clothing that can make ice cream appear out of nowhere caught her interest. But this the usual reaction. Pretty cool, eh? I made myself. He handed her the jacket. When she tried to reach for something through the apparent portal that is his jacket, her hand just touched the material. Sorry, but it works just when I used it. I got some pretty important things in there, so it would be troublesome if anyone could steal them. The girl handed the jacket back to him and returned to her ice cream. Hey, who is the new girl? Asked Yang. Don't know. Just meet her, but she seems okay. Nice to meet you. I am Yang Xiaolong and this is Ruby Rose. Wait, weren't you sisters? Asked Naruto with confusion in his voice. We have different mothers, explained Ruby shortly. Oh, dibs on strawberry. I want chocolate, declared Yang, while making herself comfortable, well as comfortable as she can, given the fact that she is standing on a sleeping bag on the floor. Hey, I just realized, we haven't asked for your name yet. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. Nice to meet you. Where are you from? I never heard a name like yours before, said Yang before taking a spoonful of ice cream from her tub. I am not from around here. Like, not from this continent. Wait, Ruby stopped from eating. Are you from the other side of the world? It is common knowledge that there is another continent, but they never had a close relationship with them. And by that she means that there are no contacts between the two of them, and there never was. Hearing that somebody is from that place is like hearing about aliens that just come to visit their planet. How does it look like? Are there hunters? Is it warm or cold there? How are the people? What about your weapons? Naruto decided to stop her from firing questions before she can lose all the air from her lungs. Whoa, wait. Calm down and take a breath, would ya? I understand how is it like to see new places, but this is no reason freak out. Sorry, she scratched the back of her head. Good. And to answer your questions. It depends on the region. No, it depends on the region, it depends on the region, and your guys are way more advanced. But don't get cocky, we can still kick some asses if we need. Yang hummed for a moment. Well, that isn't very helpful. Sorry, but that is the best answer I can give you. I have been in so many places that have different culture and people that I can't just describe them all together. Yang raised an eyebrow. That many places. Naruto chuckled. Yeah. The main reason why I am here is that I got bored with that place. I have seen every piece land that is there. Right now I have a solid reputation in every and each country. But even so, I can never get bored with the people. That's for sure. Now that sounds cool, said Yang. Well, Ruby nodded with a look of admiration, but it's hard to tell if someone as old as me has seen every place on an entire continent. More so when that thing is supposed to be equal in size with all the kingdoms put together. Believe what you want. But this is the truth. I came here for something new. Anything exciting. After that, who knows? Maybe I would return to visit some friends or make myself a home here. You really like to travel, don't you? Asked Ruby. At the start it was just curiosity to see is it like in places far from where I was born. But after some time it just became part of my life along with other unhealthy hobbies. What are those? Getting in and out of troubles. Seriously, I lost count of how many times I had to beat the crap out of someone who pointed a weapon at me. Sounds like my kind of lifestyle, said Yang with a grin. Don't know about that, Yang. Her sister rubbed her right shoulder. I mean, fighting Grims is fun, but to always fight people sounds dangerous. Dangerous makes it fun, Ruby. Naruto decided to give more attention toward the silent girl who finished her tub of ice cream and is watching his. Is this a thing? Can every girl on this continent eat sweets at a super fast speed? Suo, he pushed the ice cream toward her. Can you tell us your name? Well, not tell, but give us one. She was ready to make another set of hand signs, but a voice interrupted her. Neo. We told you to not stroll around without us knowing, said a dark-skinned green-haired girl with red eyes. She is wearing a light green tank top and brown shorts. Next to her is gray-haired teen that is dressed with a gray t-shirt, brown pants and black boots. Neo pouted cutely while she is still stuffing herself with ice cream. So your name is Neo. It's a nice name, declared Naruto. Actually, it's Neapolitan, said the gray-haired teen. And you are her friends, I suppose. Nice to meet you. Name's Naruto Uzumaki. I am Emerald Sustrai. The girl introduced herself. And he is Mercury Black, she pointed the teen with her left arm. Sup? We are sorry if Neo disturbed you or anything. Quite the opposite. She is a pretty good company, said Naruto with a smile. Yeah. She seems like a cool girl. Oh my god, Yang. Stop with the jokes. Never, Ruby. Never. What is all this ruckus about? Some of us are trying to sleep. They watched as the white-haired girl from this morning got closer to them and yelled you. Well, pointing toward Ruby. The poor girl jumped in her sister's arms. God, why? Is already the third time today. If you care so much about them, then why are you yelling? Asked Naruto. Weiss gave him a sharp glare. Just use indoor voices like any decent person with it. She left, so she will not end up doing something unladylike. Well, started the dark-skinned girl. I think that is the time to return to our spot. Come on, Neo, we have an initiation tomorrow in the morning. The said girl got up and waved them goodbye. See you tomorrow. Don't mind me, but I am going to sleep, said Naruto, the second part being addressed to the sister. Me too. Don't let the sleeping bag bugs bite you, said Yang. Good night, guys. With that, even Ruby got herself a ticket toward Dreamland. However, Naruto pretended to be asleep for a few minutes. He needed time to think about the future. Not just tomorrow. In just a day, Beacon proved itself to be a better place to live than half of Elemental Nation and a lot of places that he visited while on this continent. But life taught him two things. 1. That he and troubles are bound together. No matter how much he tries to have a dull life, like he is normal for once, something has to go south. And 2. He has to follow his instinct no matter what. Even if he ends up making a mistake, Naruto decided to not regret any choices or their outcome, as long as he did what he thought that is the best. Even so, he can't help but question his decision. When he heard about Beacon and how great warriors are trained here, he decided to get here as fast as possible. That small part of him that made him go in all his great adventures and help all the good people he meet until now just wouldn't stop screaming in his mind otherwise. Why would he, Naruto Uzumaki, go to a school out of all the places if this wouldn't have happened? But why? Why does he feel so attracted to this place? Knowing how my life usually goes, this is the place where a war will break out, or someone here definitely needs a lifetime friend to help him get out a deadly situation. He shifted in his sleeping bag. Just when will I stop sticking my neck to save strangers? Despite his best effort to be angry, Naruto fell asleep with a smile on his face. Next morning. Locker's room. One night of sleep and Naruto feels like he can move mountain. Don't misunderstand him, he does like having his life full of adventure, but this little bit of pleasure in life comes with price of not having much time to sleep. And even if does, it's most likely that something is going to wake him up anyway. However, last night was not the case. Oh my dear universe. You finally had enough mercy to not bring anything in my way for a full 24 hours. He had a content smile on his face before throwing slightly. What do you have in store for me today? Call it unnecessary concern, but he does not like it when things are too normal. Well, is not that normal around here? Even without the universe shenanigans, he looked around to see what are the others doing. Ruby and Yang are talking while equipping themselves for the initiation, with the younger sister embracing her weapon. An orange-haired girl has been chattering with a tall Asiatic-looking boy since the moment the teen woke up. The white-haired girl from yesterday is trying to make friends with a strong-looking redheaded girl. At the first glance this isn't strange, but there is a malicious aura coming from the rich girl right now. He is pretty sure that has seen that redheaded girl somewhere, but for heaven's sake he couldn't recall where. Maybe it's because of her hair color that he confused her with his cousin Karen. And lastly there is John who can't find his locker. He will have to help that boy gets on his feet soon enough. Seeing a good-hearted person being a clumsy airhead will not do for him. I like John, but you all have to admit he was a clumsy airhead during the first few episodes. But again, this is why some of us like him. He just finished putting on his combat attire and now he is going to bring out the big guns. In his hands is a huge sword like a weapon that has a large scroll incorporated. This deadly blade is none other than Shibuki-3. He smiled softly. He and this weapon have a long history behind. One that the people from this continent would never appreciate, but that the ones from Elemental Nation would pass it down to the next generations as a remnant of a great warrior. Naruto sighed and turned his head to the right. If you want to check it out, you can do it like a normal person. Like last night, Neo appeared out of thin air and without a sound, all the character are wearing their canon outfit. This time she had that cute childish pout on her face for being discovered so easy. Of course, she stood there for a couple of seconds before he noticed her, but still. Her semblance is supposed to allow her to make herself invisible for anyone as long as she wanted. This guy has to be cheating somehow. Pretty cool, eh? Asked a boy with a cheeky smile that made him look like a fox. Neo gained a serious look and inspected the weapon. After a long internal debate, Neo gave him thumb up. Hey, said the boy from last night, Mercury if he remembers right, who just got next to him. Nice weapon. But you are sure that this is what you want to use during the initiation? It kind of looks like something that would collect dust in museum. Don't worry. It is indeed old, but Shibuki can pack some serious punches. He lifted the sword in the air with one hand, like a knight would raise his sword after a battle. Which is actually impressive due to how big that thing is. Oh please no. Not another one that names his weapon and treats it like a person. He heard Yang's voice from behind. There is nothing wrong with naming your weapon. You did too. Yeah, but I never called mine my baby. Ruby would normally continue the argument with her sister, however, seeing such a fine example of what a classic and yet original weapon should be like made the dorkish side of her take control of her body. Oh my god. Where did you find that? Naruto gained a smug look on his face. Sorry, didn't find it. She found me. You are not going to see anything like this nowhere else in the world. Can I look at it a bit closer? Naruto lowered the weapon so Ruby could inspect it. Woo, how old it is. No offense to Shibuki, but it has to be at least a few decades old. More a century old, to be more specific. However, as fun as it would be to talk about this with you, we should get going. The initiation starts soon. This got Rub out of her state and made her run for dear life to the exit. Yup. This is life for Naruto Uzumaki. One stranger awkward thing after the other. And in the end he makes new friends to laugh with about everything that happened. And done. Here is the chapter. Naruto and the others are standing in straight line close to the cliff that separated them from the grim infected forest. He has some troubles trying to understand why do they need to stay on this strange metal things. However, he decided not to ask. They will find out anyway probably. Yang is standing on his right while Mercury on the left. Both of them are eager to have a good fight down there. He couldn't say that he doesn't share the feeling. However, they have to go through another one of Ozpin's speeches. For years you have trained to become warriors, started the man with his ever-present mug in his right hand, and today, your abilities will be evaluated in the Emerald Forest. This good witch continued with a professional tone. Now, I'm sure that many of you have heard rumors about the assignment of teams. Well, allow us to put an end to your confusion. Each of you will be given teammates today. Not so different from back home so far, thought Naruto, while Ruby, who is sitting next to Yang, seemed scared by what is going to happen next. She doesn't want to have teammates that she doesn't know already. This will only lead to more awkward talks. Ozpin started to speak again. These teammates will be with you for the rest of your time here at Beacon. So it is in your best interest to be paired with someone with whom you can work well. That being said, the first person you make eye contact with after landing will be your partner for the next 4 years. Naruto could hear cracks. Poor Ruby. Her world just shattered. Please God, let me be paired up with someone that I can work with. Seriously, I have met 5 people so far that seem to great persons. Just one of them would be perfect. If he gets paired up with that dude Cardin or one of his goons, oh, is not going to end well for them. After you've partnered up, make your way to the northern end of the forest. You will meet opposition along the way. Do not hesitate to destroy everything in your path, or you will die. Dawn tried to laugh, but he ended up gulping nervously. Some of the others were not better. You will be monitored and graded for the duration of your initiation. But our instructors will not intervene. You will find an abandoned temple at the end of the path containing several relics. Each pair has to choose one and return to the top of the cliff. We will regard that item as well as your standing and grade you appropriately. Are there any questions? Naruto raised his hand. Yeah, right here, teach. You said destroy anything that is in your path. So we don't have to worry about property damage. I don't want to have any pro-nature organization on my tail if it happens for me to knock over some trees. Anything that happened to be destroyed by you will be considered necessary for self-defense, and so you will not be charged. Any other question? Dawn raised his hand as well. Yeah, sir. Good. Now, take your positions. They got in their battle stances. Naruto prepared Shibuki in his right hand while cracking his shoulders. Time for some practice. Hope those things can handle more than one hit. Sir? John tried again to get Osborn's attention. I've got, a question. Weiss got catapulted, so, this landing strategy thing, what is it? You're, like, dropping us off or something? No. You will be falling. Oh my god, this is comedy gold, thought Naruto while looking at their interaction. Did he not see all the students flying until now? Oh, I see. So, like, did you hand out parachutes for us? No. You will be using your own landing strategy. It's finally Mercury's turn to be launched. Good luck down there, he said to Naruto. Our protagonist turned his head toward John and yelled, you are not going to live forever, pal. Have fun on the battlefield while you can. He was launched as well. He is not really the fan of being thrown like a rag doll, but feeling the air pass by him while in free-falling was kind of nice. Birdie, no. It seems that Ruby hit a bird. Naruto got in position to land on a branch and then jumped to another as soon as his feet touched the wood. Like that, he continued to ninja run his way through a large portion of the forest. He saw a lot of people coming with interesting ideas to make a safe landing. The one that sticked out the most was Neo's. Using an umbrella as a parachute. Classic. Even for him. He decided to finally stop and start looking for a partner. This place won its name fair and square. All these trees remind him of the forest around Konoha. And this does mean something. After all, that forest is supposed to be the reason why Konoha is a hidden village. Now which way to go? He asked himself. As he pondered his options, a large figure crept behind him. A giant snake with white skin was ready to strike him from behind. Like a lightning bolt, the beast tried to eat him in one motion, but he sidestepped it and caught the handle of his sword with both hands. He swung and hit the body of the Grim, the explosion making clear damage. An entire chunk of its body vaporized with ease. However, it only angered the Taijutsu King. It tried to strike again, but Naruto jumped on its head and brought his sword down on its forehead, right where the brain should be. The creature fell down dead with Naruto still on it. Nasty thing. This one looks wacky to similar with Orochimaru. It's disturbing. His last encounter the snake Sannin left him with a bad impression about anything that doesn't have any legs and crawls. And he would be damned if another snake eats him again. It's so disgusting to get out of them. His line of thoughts was interrupted by a loud hissing noise. Turning around, Naruto barely managed to avoid being hit by a black snake. Jumping from his spot, he saw that it wasn't another snake. It was actually the other end of the one that he just killed. Two-headed snake. Why not? That thing was angered by the lose of its other end, so there was some extra zeal in its attacks. Naruto jumped high in the air to reach a branch. However, what he did not expect was Spear to nearly impale him in the head. Thank God for his reflex, because without it the high-speed projectile would have made a hole in his head. Unfortunately, this made him lose the balance and fall from the tree. The Grim was coming from below with its mouth wide open. Naruto thought fast and hit the left side of its head with Shibuki. After that blow, the Taijutsu King's jaw was hanging by the right side, but it was still alive. Not today. Said Naruto before hitting the snake under the head, killing the second head as well. Watch where you aim that spear. He yelled toward the direction where the spear came from. It nearly took my head off. I am sorry. Was heard from that direction. Some people. Before he could start walking, he heard a lot of growls coming from behind the trees. A pack of beolds were approaching with the alpha in the first line. Naruto grinned and pointed Shibuki at them with one hand. Come on. I have enough explosives to blow my way through an army of your kind. Show me what you got. The alpha jumped toward with his fangs shown. With Emerald. Same time. She just finished shooting the last Beowulf who attacked her. Nice work, said a masculine voice from behind her. She turned her head to see Mercury leaning to a tree with a smirk. Stop screwing around, Mercury. It's already bad enough that I have to be here with you. Don't make it worse for me. Whoa. It's not like I only exist to piss you off. I can be a nice guy. Haha. Let's just finish this. I hope that Neo picks up someone useful as the fourth member. Yeah, it would be a drag to carry someone on our back during Vital Festival. He got closer to Emerald. So who do you think is going to be the lucky number 4? Knowing Neo, she will search for someone funny. Beat me if I know what is in that girl's head. She start walking north. With you on this one. Though, it would be indeed funny to have someone like the ice cream guy or that blonde bab. Shut it. Jealous. No. Shut it. She listened a bit until they both heard a loud thud near them. Mercury got ready for a battle. The hell was that? I don't know. She held her revolvers toward the direction of the sound. Another thud followed, this time they saw a tree falling. And then another and another, until they could see what was the cause of it. Holy dust! Yelled Mercury, not taking his eyes from whatever came closer to him. Run. Both of them took a run for their lives with a giant beast hot on their trail. With Neo. Same time. She was bored. No point saying anything else. Neo didn't meet any trouble so far. She decided to use her semblance to become invisible so she wouldn't end up paired with someone boring. And she is happy that she made this decision. Motherfucker. This was the sound of one Cardin Winchester tripping over nothing again. He was the first person that she meet, but he doesn't see her, so they are not partners. She spent the last couple of minutes making him look like he can't even stand on his own feet in front of whatever is Oz been using to spy them. Hey, it's not her fault that he is boring. If he would have been more fun, she wouldn't have any trouble pairing up with him. However, both her and Cardin's attention were caught by a loud crashing noise coming from their right. Before they could react, a tree trunk went flying over their heads, destroying everything in its path. When the trunk hit the ground, they could see that an alpha beowulf was stuck to the side of the giant piece of wood. It was clearly killed by whatever sent it here. Now this looks fun. Neo rushed toward the direction where the Grim came from. Loud explosion noises filled the air and ignited Neo's curiosity even more. She finally stopped running when she saw Naruto surrounded by beowulfs. His sword was held high in the air as he brought it down on one of his enemy's head. The hit was followed by an explosion. 3 of them tried to hit him in the back, but he turned around and took all of them out in one blow. Just 4 more to go. He used a blade that is not covered in piece of papers to cut off the head of an incoming Grim. One of the remaining 3 attacked from the left, but the scroll from his sword unrolled enough for the sheet of paper to wrap around the beast. Naruto caught it by the head with his left hand and threw it toward the last 2. The explosion that followed was enough to kill all 3 of them. Neo's eyes become pink. Partner found. If she plays her cards well, she might get more ice cream as well. Double win. Looking back, she saw that Cardin was approaching and she is still invisible for the others. She ran toward the blonde boy and turned off her semblance. When she was close enough, she jumped and coiled her arms around his neck. She was the only thing that he could see right now. Whoa there, said the boy, surprised. Guess that we are partners now. A coincidence perhaps? He asked jokingly. Neo smiled. What happened here? What the hell sent that tree flying? Yelled Cardin, angry because he nearly got killed by a random piece of wood. Oh, hey Cardin, said Naruto while trying to play dumb. Crazy things happen around here, don't they? I mean, just a couple of minutes ago a spear nearly took my head off. And just now this cute girl appeared out of nowhere. Neo let go of him and put her palms on her cheeks, trying to look flattered. Sue, did you find anyone yet? The bully seemed very displeased. Goddamned loser, showing off with a girl, he mumbled under his breath while leaving them alone. Neo punched him the arm lightly. What? It's not like you would have felt bad for him anyway. And it's not like I was aiming to hit him. However, this proves that the old saying you make your own luck is indeed true. Neo pointed toward the direction where Cardin came from and then at herself. What? You were there as well? She nodded. Well, I am so sorry. I hope you are not hurt. She shook her head. Good. Have you seen anything that resemble a ruin anywhere? She pointed toward some trees that were destroyed by him with a smile. Ancient ruins, please. She crossed her hands in an X. Well, we better find it. Then he started walking with Neo behind him. He was taken back by a sudden increase in weight. He felt Neo's arms coiling around his neck from behind while her legs locked on his hips. Naruto turned his head to see Neo smiling. Piggyback right? Well, this makes it easier for me. Hold tight. The girl looked confused for a moment. Naruto suddenly jumped in the air and landed on a tree branch and then repeated the process. Hope you don't mind the way I travel. Neo stretched her right arm to give him a thumb up. Naruto continued to do this for about 20 minutes until they found themselves in clearing with a circular stone construction. He could see that Yang and a black-haired girl were already there. Yo. Yang, good to see that you made it. Neo got down from his back and walked up to the chess pieces. Oh, Naruto. Neo. Yeah, it was easy. It's not like this place is that hard to find. Their discussion was interrupted by a loud girly scream. Some girl is in trouble. You sure that it was a girl? Asked Naruto. Neo tugged his sleeve to show him that she chose that black horse. The dark horse. Feeling unpredictable. There is no time for jokes. Blake, did you hear that? The said girl was looking up. Naruto did the same and saw Ruby falling down while screaming heads up. From the top of her lungs. Before she could touch the ground, she was hit by a flying John. They landed into a tree. Did your sister just fall from the sky? Asked Blake. Was that John that sent her into a tree? Asked Naruto while Neo's eyes turned white and widened with her mouth agape. That is going to leave a mark. Yang tried to come with an answer. Growls could be heard from the forest. Suddenly an Ursa came out with an orange-haired girl on its back. When the Grim fell down dead, the girl was sad and awe. It broke. An Asian-looking boy came running toward her. Nora started. The boy never do this again. He finished just for the girl to hurry up and take the white rook piece. Nora started singing, I am queen of the castle. I am queen of the castle. Nora. Ha coming Ren. Did that girl just ride in on an Ursa? Asked Blake again. Aye. A lot of crashing noises came from another direction. Emerald and Mercury came out of the forest at top speed. Emerald was using her revolvers to shoot something that was behind them, while Mercury was repeating shit. 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 Over and over again. Not far behind them was the mother of all Borbotisks. That Grim was not only ridiculously big for such species of Grim, but it was also covered from head to toes in a thick bony armor. That thing was a moving fortress with 4 massive tusks, ready to rip through any human or faunus foolish enough to approach it. The bullets sent by Emerald seemed to bounce off of its body. Is that a giant Borbotisk? Asked Blake yet again. I think that this is my call, said Naruto. He ran toward the incoming Grim with his sword in both hands. He unrolled the scroll and moved it like a whip. The sheet of paper reached easily 20 meters in length and fell over the Grim's eyes before exploding. It didn't cause any damage to the beast, but it was enough to distract it from chasing Emerald and Mercury. The Grim started rolling in Naruto's direction, but he was too slow. Naruto jumped to the side and jumped to the side. The Grim continued to roll until it hit a deathstalker that was following a red-haired girl. Did those sheets of paper just exploded? And did she just ran all the way here with a deathstalker on her tail? That was the moment when Yang couldn't handle this anymore. Oh my god. Can we just calm down for 2 seconds before something crazy happens again? Her were red and there was fire around her. The other listened to her demand and remained quiet. Mercury and Emerald finally reached the ruin and stopped to catch their breath. Neo gave Emerald a quick glance at her piece, without the other noticing. She nodded and hurried to get the other black horse. Mercury was resting with his palms on his knees and watched as Naruto returned back to the group. Thanks for the help. We didn't had anything that could scratch the thing's armor. Don't mention it. What? Asked Yang when her sister, who just got down from the tree, tugged her. She pointed up. When they looked up, their jaws were ready to hit ground. Over their heads, a large Nevermore was flying with Weiss holding onto its talon. How could you leave me? I said jump. Tried Ruby to defend herself. She is going to fall, said Blake. She'll be fine. She's falling, said Ren. Naruto saw John, who gained a confident smile on his face and pushed Mercury with his elbow. I bet that he is going to jump. Mercury saw him as well. He's definitely going to jump. He jumped to catch the falling Aris just to realize that he can't fly nor glide nor land in an awesome manner. Naruto face-palmed when he saw Weiss landing on his back. How is that even possible? They were falling in the same time. Mercury shrugged his shoulders. The universe is merciful toward cute girls. Well, this is great. The whole gang is here. Now we can all die together, said Yang. The Nevermore was coming in their direction fast. It looks angry. Not if I have something to say. Ruby tried to use her semblance to race toward it, but Naruto caught her by the hood. Ugh, she chocked. I don't know what you had in mind, but I am not going to let anyone die. He unzipped his jacket and searched through it with his left hand. He pulled his hand out to reveal a large fan made out of half white, half red feathers and a sword like Handle1. The Grim was fast and unleashed a storm of bullet-like feathers toward them. Scroll of wind, shouted Naruto, swinging the fan. A powerful gust of wind scattered the incoming projectiles. The other were stunned. Did he just pull a weapon of mass destruction out of his jacket? Asked Blake. You know what? Screw it. Started Yang. At least this insane crap saved our butts. Ruby, Nora and Neo were looking with stars in their eyes at the awesome, but unpredictable, weapon. John glanced at it and then at his sword and shield. He was so jealous. The others were trying to understand how could this be possible. How? Asked Weiss. I will tell you later. Grim's incoming. He pointed toward the Nevermore and the other 2 giant Grim that are coming to kill them. Good point. Let's get out of here. Said John. With you on this one. Said Mercury. Our mission is to take the relics and make it back to Cliffs. There is no point in fighting them, said Purr, while the others nodded. The group of 12 tried to run from the 3 beasts through some ancient ruins nearby. Naruto saw that the Borbotisk started to roll again. It was getting too close. Eyes. Go ahead. I will distract this thing for a while. What? Yelled Ruby. Do you have a death wish? Asked Yang. I have something that could actually hurt this thing. But I don't want you to get caught in it. Mercury glanced at the rolling beast. Do you really think that you can hurt that thing? Yes. Then I go with you. No freaking pig is going to make me run through a whole forest and gets away with it. Then get its attention. Naruto stopped running and prepared his fan scroll of fire. A wave of fire hit Grim. Mercury shoot a couple of rounds as well. Even if there was still no damage, it felt it enough to get its attention. The rolling ball of death was now after them. Now what? Get that thing as far away as possible from the others. They ran away from the ruins. What's your plan exactly? This he showed him a sealed tag. A piece of paper. Your grandiose plan is a piece of paper. I don't understand what is your problem. You saw what they can do. Around a few dozen of them didn't do shit to it. Just don't get close to it. If you do, you might get killed. He jumped onto a tree branch and used the fan against scroll of fire. Another wave of fire hit the Grim. Mercury stopped and shoot more rounds toward it. It got really annoyed by the two boys. Naruto put the fan back inside his jacket and took the seal that he showed to Mercury. Without hesitation, he jumped toward the beast with his sword in the right hand and seal in his left. The scroll unrolled again. This time it was aimed to hit the spot where it's going to be. When the explosion took place, the beast was blasted 2 meters in the air. When it hit the ground, the Borbotus had to unroll and regain his sense of direction. Aim for his eyes, yelled Naruto. The silver-haired teenager didn't complain and hit the eyes of the beast with everything he had. Its cries could be heard through the forest. Naruto ran toward it and jumped on its forehead, where he stuck the sealed tag. He got down quickly and got next to Mercury to the ruins. But what about the he was interrupted by an explosion. That was followed by another 5. That were followed by another 25 and so on. What the hell? Hurry up. You don't want to get caught in that. Mercury didn't said anything else and tried to get as far away as possible. What was that? He asked without stopping from running. Naruto turned his head toward him and smiled. Cool, isn't it? It is not my original creation and it takes me days to make one, but it sure does its work. Mercury turned his head to look again at the chain of explosions. Right now they were doing a pretty good job imitating what many think to be hell. Can't argue with that. But are you sure that it's okay? You don't have to be a genius to know that this is going to start a big fire. Don't worry. Osborn gave us green light for anything. Besides, I can stop that fire by using the fan after the initiation. If you say so. With Osborn. Same time. He looked up from his digital scroll. He could see the raging inferno from his current position. Glinda. Yes, Osborn. Can you please remind me what was our agreement with those pro-nature organizations regarding our usage of the Emerald Forest? The students can do as they please as long as the damage done to the forest can be undone in less than 50 years. They looked at the fire caused by the explosion and sighed. There is no way in hell that this can be undone in less than 50 years. With rwby, JNPR, Neo and Emerald. Same time. Well, that sure is one way to make the hippies angry, said Yang, while the others were still processing what is happening. Yang is 100% sure that even the Deathstalker and the Nevermore were surprised by the sudden appearance of a mini version of hell. Come on guys. Let's move before those things attack again, said John. We can't let them behind, said Ruby. I wouldn't worry about them. Emerald pointed toward 2 running figures that were coming toward them. Seems like they can look after themselves. They are still far behind. Purah put her sword and shield on. I say to make a stand here and wait for them. That's not an option. Ren pointed toward the incoming Grims that were not far from them. The Nevermore was already firing feathers at them. Let's just take care of ourselves for now. The projectiles were impaling in the ground, some of them close to the group. When they were near a bridge, some of them were ready hit Neo and Emerald, but the girls tried to get away from them. Unfortunately, Emerald lost her balance and fell to the side. She tried to catch Neo's hand, but it only made her fall as well. Thanks to their aura, neither of them got hurt. And it seems that luck is on their side. If they would have made just a few more steps, they would have had a much longer way down. You guys are okay, asked Ruby. Yeah. Go ahead. We will regroup with the other 2 and catch up with you. With Naruto and Mercury. They were trying to get closer to the others. But something caught their attention. Oh hell no, said Mercury, while trees were pushed down in the distance. Don't tell me that that thing is still alive. To his displeasure, the gigantic ball of death was rolling in their direction. Naruto stopped in his track. How tough is its armor? Even if it is still alive, he can see from here that the explosion did a lot of damage to it. Even now when it's rolling, he could see black spots on it, meaning that a lot of pieces from his armor were destroyed. Do you have any more of those magic pieces of paper on you? Nothing of that scale. He took the sword in his right hand and pulled the fan out with his left, but I have plenty of smaller ones that should do the trick now. Hope you got space for new playmates, they heard Emerald's voice from behind. She and Neo got next to the boys with their weapons drawn. Naruto smiled. If you can hit hard, you are more than welcome. When the Borbodusk was ready to flatten them, they dodged and got ready for action. Mercury and Emerald were already firing at it. When they turned back to crash into Naruto and Neo, the girl caught his hand and used her semblance to make an image of them while she pulled him aside. The image shattered and the beast unrolled. That's when Neo jumped on its head with her sword out of the umbrella. She plunged a blade in one of its eyes, destroying it. When it opened its mouth to shout in pain, Naruto used his fan against Scroll of Fire. In no time, the fire burned the inside of its mouth and throat. Emerald jumped on its back and slashed on the unarmored spots with her sickles. Mercury decided to give the Grim a piece of his mind and did an axe kick on its huge nose, closing its mouth. The Borbidisc wanted to roll again, but Naruto had other plans. He used his sword to hit it under the chin. However, that thing was not done yet. They made some space between them and the monster. "We have to hit it from below," said Emerald. "This thing won't go down otherwise." Naruto unrolled the scroll again. He aimed for the ground that was on the left of the Grim before it could recover from the last hit. The explosion was powerful enough to finally destroy one of its front leg. Mercury jumped toward its head and kicked it as hard as he could. He managed to break one of its tusks. As the beast started leaning to the right, Naruto yelled "Scroll of Earth." A small pillar of stone erupted from the ground and forced the beast to fall to on its side. Neo and Emerald didn't waste any time and charged in. Neo used her sword to pierce through the creature's heart while Emerald gave it an X-shaped slash on the stomach. With a final cry of pain, the Grim finally died. "Pant, it's over?" asked Mercury. "Pant, yeah. I think it is," responded Naruto. "Did the others made it?" His answer came in the form of one Ruby Rose, who was running on the side of the cliff with the blade of her scythe pressed against the neck of the Nevermore. When she reached the top, the Grim got beheaded. "There's your answer," said Emerald. In the background, Neo pumped her fist in the air. "Well, that's a relief. Now if you excuse me, I have a fire to stop." "You go ahead, it won't take long." Neo got to his side and caught him by the hand. She was not going anywhere without him. "I will wait here," said Mercury while lying on his back. "I am beat." "Okay." Naruto and the silent girl left the other two alone. Emerald got next to the silver-haired boy and sat down. "So did you had fun?" "To be honest, yeah. Have you seen that explosion?" "Everyone saw that explosion." "And done?" "Hey everyone, I love to see that you guys love this. Old faces and new faces alike. There is just a positive reaction to it that I am proud of. Here is the new chapter." Naruto and his new friends were standing on the stage, waiting for the headmaster to assign them their team's name. Carden and his goons stepped up. Russell Thrush. Carden, Winchester. Dove Bronzewing. Skylark. The crowd clapped as pictures of them were shown on a holographic screen. "The four of you retrieved the Black Bishop pieces. From this day forward, you will work together as Team CRDL Cardinal." Lead by Carden Winchester, they left the stage, leaving space for John's group. John Arc. Lai Ren. Pura Nakaso, that's her name. I still don't remember where I heard of her, thought Naruto. Nora Valkyrie. The four of you retrieved the White Rook pieces. From this day forward, you will work together as Team JNPR Juniper. Nora embraced ran out of happiness, led by John Arc. Lead by? He could not understand how is this possible. However, Pura smiled knowing that this is the best choice. Congratulations, young man, Osborn praised him. It would have been a beautiful moment if Pura wouldn't have punched him in the shoulder hard enough to make him fall. Which made it sad because she didn't put any force behind that hit. I have to prepare a training schedule for him. Yup. This and more were Naruto's thoughts upon seeing this. Lake Belladonna. Ruby Rose. Wai Shni. Yang Xiaolong. The four of you retrieved the White Knight pieces. From this day forward, you will work together as Team RWBY Ruby. Lead by Ruby Rose. The last part surprised both Weiss and Ruby. Yang embraced her sister with all her might. I am so proud of you. And finally Team Ruby made space for the last group. Emerald Sustrai. Naruto Uzumaki. Mercury Black. Neapolitan Tricolor. The four of you retrieved the Black Knight pieces. From this day forward, you will work together as Team UNME Unmatched. Lead by Naruto Uzumaki. The crowd clapped while the Mercury patted Naruto on the back. Looks like things are shaping up to be an interesting year. Dorms hallways. 30 minutes later. The new formed teams were looking for their dorms. After a long day like that, there would be no better ways to spend your time than sleeping. Even if Naruto isn't as tired as the other, it is a good idea to rest. Well, he can. Who would have thought? The universe hasn't messed me up for 2 days straight. Well, to meet Grim in that forest was the whole point of the initiation. And the teachers didn't mind them at all. So that doesn't count as unthinkable revelation or unexpected adventure. This is kind of disappointing. The groups reached the doors that were assigned to them. Cool. Our rooms are next to each other. Will be great. Said Ruby, excited. Yup. Think about all the parties we can throw. We are going to be the most awesome dudes and chicks in the whole Beacon, declared Yang with a large grin. Yeah. Said Nora and John. Easy there, started Emerald. You don't want to wake up the entire school in the first day here. Yeah. This is more of a second week thing. And we need good music and fine drinks. Mercury bumped fists with Yang. Haha. I will note that on our agenda. If you excuse me, I am going to head out for a bit. I'll be back in no time, Naruto said while departing. If he still has time, he can as well work on a little something that has been undone for far too long. And there is the exit right where Team CRDL is standing. It seems that he is going to hit two birds with one stone, peaceful school life. Here I come. He didn't even slow down. Hey there pal, said Cardin when he was close enough. Naruto still didn't slow down. I think we have something to talk about between Ten Eyes. Russell and Dove got behind him and me and the boys just happened to find a place with no cameras around. Care to come with us? How convenient, said the blonde boy for me. Demon's dorm. Same time. Emerald was holding her digital scroll, ready to call Cinder. Mercury was standing at the door to make sure that their leader is returning yet clear. He closed the door. The dark-skinned girl tapped on the screen and the other two got next to her. Cinder, are you there? Yes, was from the other side. I assume that you successfully infiltrated Beacon. Were there any troubles? Did Osborn or the other teachers suspected something? If they did, then they know how to hide it. For now I think that we are safe. Good. From now on I want you to report to me just when something important happen. Osborn has eyes and ears everywhere. Do not make anything that will put in danger your cover. If you fail this mission, you will face punishment. With this the call ended. Well, at least she was in a good mood, said Mercury. Can't argue with that. So what's the plan? The plan is to not get caught. Yeah, but do we lay low? Do we make ourselves look like good guys? Which one do you think that is going to make us invisible to Osborn's radar? She sighed. I don't know. I guess we just go with the flow. I am a thief, not a spy. Don't ask me. Before he could reply, the door opened to reveal Naruto. He had a pretty satisfied smile. He was even whistling a happy tune. Hey there leader, you done with your secret affair? Not really, but I didn't waste time either. Thou, I am surprised that you are not sleeping yet. I thought that running through the whole forest will make you want to sleep like babies. He looked around the room. Do you have enough energy left to decorate the place? Nope. I am going to change my clothes and turn down the system until morning. He picked out a change of clothes and went to the bathroom. Okay, he took off his jacket and put it on the bed. He searched through it and pulled a Japanese folding screen, and you saw them in movies and animes. Those wooden things that the characters dress behind that he placed next to his bed. He searched again and pulled his night gear. The girls were looking with amazement. So, you have weapons of mass destruction and everyday things in there? Oh no. I have weapons and everything that you could need for your everyday life in there. He left the folding screen there in case that somebody else wants to use it. Naruto lay down on the bed and covered himself with a blanket. Even so, he couldn't sleep. He was feeling watched. He opened his eyes. Neo was really close to him. Like inches close from his face. Her eyes pleaded for something. Do you want more ice cream? She beamed him a smile. Give me my jacket. He searched again and pulled out a tube of strawberry flavored ice cream and a spoon. The multicolored girl didn't hesitate at all. How many of thighs do you have left? I know for sure that you and the other 3 girls eat 4 of them yesterday. About 10 more. Neo got a glint in her eyes. Want some? Emerald thought for a second. Do you have any with mint? A moment please. He searched again. Here you go. Thanks. She took the tube with a smile. Well, at least we know for sure that he is not stingy. Maybe he is not half bad. Still, too much of a goody two shoes. Mercury got out of the bathroom already planning to get the girls ice cream guy. He asked when he saw the girls eating. Who knows? Want some as well? No thanks. I am good. Night. Wait. Where did that came from? He pointed toward the folding screen. Jacket. Naruto closed his eyes again just to feel watched again. He opened his eyes to see that Neo finished her tube. Oh boy. Next morning. Mercury opened his eyes and stretched his limbs. When he got off of his bed, he kicked something. Looking down, he was surprised to see 6 empty tubes of ice cream. Neo was still sleeping on her bed while hugging the 7th. Naruto and Emerald were already dressed in their uniforms. Well, Emerald was wearing it. Naruto had the pants and the dress shirt, but with his jacket unzipped instead of the blazer. Did she eat all that? He glanced at her face. Even in her sleep her happiness is clear. Where did it all go? She doesn't even look like her stomach hurts. Don't ask me. You know her for way more time than I do, said Naruto. Addressed Mercury. We have classes in less than an hour. Yeah, he got into the bathroom with his uniform in his right hand. Naruto tapped Neo on the should wakey. Eggs and bakey. No response. Neo. Nothing. Neo. Still nothing. Neapolitan tricolor. Wake up right now. Yet again nothing. Time for a new approach. Wake up or you will not get any ice cream from me again. That one got an immediate response. She woke up faster than he could blink. She pouted after realizing that he exploded her love for the cold desert and threw her pillow at him. Hey. It's not my fault that you wouldn't wake up. Her pout didn't stop. Okay. You can have the rest of the ice cream that I have during launch. Happy? She smiled and nodded. Emerald face palmed after seeing how Neo was bought so easily. Is she a kid? Mercury got out of the bathroom. Do you think that we have enough time to get breakfast? Neo passed him. The cafeteria is in the way to the class. You better hurry though. I heard that most of the third-year students are already there at this time. They do start their classes around 10 or 11. Got it. See you in class. Naruto smiled softly. A normal morning. Can it be that the universe is finally going to let me live a normal life? Is this why I felt so attracted by this place? Yes. Yes. He wanted to cry out of happiness. Professor Port's class. He spoke too soon. Way. Too soon. He was feeling like crying right there. You may ask why. First, all his friends were siding around him. This isn't a bad thing on its own. The reason behind this is what made it sad for him. The moment when he sat down was also the moment when everyone near him got up and searched for another place. Thus, the one around him were the only ones left for his friends. Second, the rest were talking about him. All around him, he could hear people saying things like, "Isn't he the pyromaniac who set the forest on fire yesterday?" Or, "I heard that he made bombs out of paper sheets. I hope that he doesn't blow up the room with us inside, or it is even safe to stay near him." Neo saw that and tried to cheer him up with a couple of pats on the back. Ruby and Yang gave him a look full of sympathy. So this is my reputation now. It's okay. I had it worse in Konoha. I can handle this. As he tried to man himself up. Who am I kidding? This is as bad as it was in Konoha. At least this time I know what I did to deserve this treatment, but it doesn't help. I have to come with an idea on how to get rid of this bad image. Fast. Professor Port continued his lesson, unaware of what is happening between students. The moral of this story. A true huntsman must be honorable. A true huntsman must be dependable. A true huntsman must be strategic, well-educated and wide. So, who among you believes themselves to be the embodiment of these traits? Weiss was ready to raise her hand, but Naruto was faster. He got an idea. This is it. Thank you, Teach. Everyone is afraid of me because they think that I can't fight without destroying everything around me. I just have to show them that I can be quick and calm. I do. Look at me, everyone. Or you are going to miss it. The Port was looking uneasy. Well, young man, I heard about your performance yesterday. As impressed as I am, your choice of weapons make it not safe for you to fight any foe in this class. Don't worry, Teach. He was determined to do this. His school life depends on this moment. I just have to lay down the big guns. He reached in his jacket and pulled a sword. This one has a rectangular shaped blade that was pure white. The handle was splitting the blade in two halves. The corner were shaped to look like flames that are pointed upward. If that's the case, then who am I to oppose? Very well. Come here and face your enemy. He pointed toward a cage. Naruto didn't waste any second and jumped high in the air. He landed on his feet without troubles. Some of the students were impressed. Our protagonist pointed the sword toward the cage. On the sidelines, Team rwby sans Weiss and Nora were cheering for him while Neo held her fists in the air. Professor Port raised his battle axe in the air. All right. Let the match begin. He cut the lock that was holding the cage closed. Inside was a Borbotus who charged almost instantly at him. He pumped chakra into the blade until the others could see a bluish glow coming from it. Some of the ones who were in the first row could hear what seemed to whine from his direction. With a precise swing, Naruto cut off its tusks that fell on the floor. That got a lot of raised eyebrows. Even if Borbotusks were not so powerful, their bony armor is something to behold. The beast recollected from his attack and charged again. This time, Naruto jumped over it. He swung his sword, creating a near-invisible arc of wind cut the Borbotusk in two. Everyone was speechless. Even his team. Did he just controlled wind without dust? Asked Blake. Bravo. Bravo. It appears that we are indeed in the presence of a true huntsman in training. I have to say, your approach was very different in comparison with what we have seen during the initiation. I'm afraid that's all the time we have for today. Naruto sighed. Yes. I managed to dodge that bullet. The rumor will spread, and I will just have to wait until I can impress them again. Just you wait, Beacon. Hahaha. With Osborne. During launch. The headmaster was sipping out of his cup while waiting for an airship to arrive. 3 months ago, the continent that could as well be a legend to them sent an ambassador to ask for an alliance with the kingdoms. That person came from what they learned to be the Fire Country. Now they try to forge a bond between the two different worlds. Right now, one of their best ambassadors was sent on the Elemental Nation, while the 5 great countries send one each. Right now the one from Konoha is coming to visit Beacon. The words about their institutions for training huntsmen and huntresses raised a lot of question from them. And here they are. The bull had just arrived and 5 people stepped out. 4 of them were masked individuals that wear some kind of light armor. Osborne's first thought was that they were some kind of special force. The 5th one was an elderly man with bandages on the right side of his face and a cane. "It is a pleasure to have you here," said the headmaster. "The pleasure is mine. You can call me Danzo." "Well then, Danzo. As happy as I am to hear that our continents are trying to make peace, I have to satisfy my own curiosity. Why the interest in our schools for warriors? There wasn't any hostility in his voice. To be fair, I am not. However, the leaders of our countries, the daimyos not the cage, see this as a way to strengthen the peace within our lands. I for one believe that a country should train its own soldiers. I understand your point and also disagree with it, but there is no need to talk about this. I think that there are new students that need to be shown the way around. Indeed, out of the same airship came 5 more people. The oldest was beautiful woman. She had long black curly hair and ruby red eyes. She was dressed with what looks to be a dress made out of bandages with one red sleeve on the left side. The second figure was blue and girl with white pearl pupils. She was wearing a tick jacket and dark blue pants. She had metal-plated bandana hanging around her neck. The third one was brunette boy with purple fang tattoos on his face. His pants and jacket were black and on his forehead was a bandana with dark clothes. Next to him was a big white dog. Despite his size, the canine seemed friendly. The third one was a dark-haired boy. He was dressed with a gray hoodie and black pants. His eyes were covered a pair of goggles. He also had a bandana around his head. The last one was very pale boy. He had black hair and eyes. His clothes were also black and his jacket left his stomach exposed. Why Kishimoto. On his back were a short sword and a scroll. The team on RWBY and JNPR. Same time. The 12 teens were heading toward the cafeteria. Neo was flowing happiness at the thought of eating ice cream again, while Ruby was asking question after question about Naruto's weapons. Where did you get the sword that you used yesterday? Naruto was smiling at the youngest member of the group. Well, it is a pretty long story that I would rather tell it much later, but I am going to say this. I didn't get it for free. MHHHH, okay. What about the fan or the sword that you used today? I found them, he said shortly. The others stopped in their track and turned their heads toward him. What? He asked. You have found weapons of mass destruction. Like finding a lost dog. Blake raised an eyebrow. Yup. Those were in shrine that I found by mistake. John thought about his weapon. The jealousy was kicking in again. Awesome. Though the sword from yesterday is way cooler. This one was kind of basic. The 7 stars sword alone. Yes. Along with the other 2 pieces of the set. Not at all. They reached the entrance in the cafeteria. Opening the door, he saw a large number of students already siding and chattering. He first thought was that there are no more tables left, but there was. That was guarded by Team CRDL. Going there was the last thing he wanted right now for a very good reason. Eyes, you know what? What if we go and have lunch somewhere nice? You know, to celebrate. I know a restaurant that has the best spicy food in the entire country. Well, at least from what I tasted. What are you talking about? Weiss put her hands on her hips. We can't go to Vale. There are no bullheads that go toward it until weekend. I have my ways. Believe me. We are going to be there faster than you can get food from here. Don't know, started John. I heard that they have some awesome lasagna here. Hope that they have some left. We have a superstar with us. Yang pointed toward Purr. I am sure that they would give us a low price at this restaurant that he is talking about. She was not as interested in the food as she was about how can he go to Vale in such a short time. She guessed that he was bluffing, but who knows. She met him less than 2 days ago and she already saw a lot of insane stuffs coming from him. I don't like spicy food, said Ruby. Sweets for life. I don't feel comfortable using my fame to get such things. Purr. Emerald crossed her arms before her chest. The food here is free. There is no price that can beat this. Mercury just shrugged his shoulder. Nothing special about the food here. And I like spicy food. Let's just put it to a vote, proposed Naruto. I think we already did, pointed out Blake. The majority spoke. We are eating here. Okay. So, you don't want spicy food. What about a fancy seafood restaurant near the center of the city? They are known for their unique recipes. Blake perked out. Fish. That sounds like a good plan for a quiet afternoon. She tried to remain calm. What? Weiss was surprised by her change of mind. Second to that, said Yang. Third, said Mercury. No. Stop this. What's wrong with you? The white-haired girl pointed toward Naruto. Me? There is nothing wrong with me. Where did you got that idea? He was hiding something. They could tell. What did you do? Weiss, I am hurt. You know me for less than 2 days and you are already incriminating me of Sama. Goddamn. They saw me. They looked toward the empty table. Carden and his goons were coming in their direction. What? Are they bullying you? Asked Mercury Wimp. Go ahead, guys. I am not that hungry. I am going to leave now. Before he could make a single step, Yang caught his arm. You are not going to go anywhere. You are going to stay here and hold your GR, boss. Her words died in her mouth. What now? The 4 wannabe bullies were standing in front of Naruto with fear in their eyes. Boss, we saved you some spots, said Carden, while his hands were trembling as he pointed toward the empty tables. Yeah, good job, Carden. He tried his best to smile. He forgot that he made Cardin and his team his errand boys last night. He did tell Ruby that what happened before the initiation will never happen again, but he did this to them before finding out that the other students see him as a possible psycho. He went overboard. Screw you, Karma. How am I the one affected when they started it? As he and the other headed toward their reserved places, the other started to whisper, "Hey, is the guy who punched him before," said a first-year student. Poor dudes. They fucked with the wrong guy. Dude, he has to be a bully. Just look how scared of him are those punks, said a second year. Scary. I heard that boy was the one who erased an entire chunk of the Emerald Forest, said a third year. For the first time in his life, Naruto understood the meaning of walk of shame. They finally arrived and sat down. After that, Team CRDL ran to bring food for their boss and his friends. It was quiet. Suo started. "John, what did we miss?" "The end of my social life." His eyes were dead. Right. There were different reactions to what was happening. Nora was her usual self. Yang was a bit angry because the insane stuffs aren't over yet. There is a limit of how much can she endure all this. Mercury and Emerald were looking at him with raised eyebrows. Okay, not a wimp, they had no idea that he got it into him. John, Purr and Ren tried to ignore this. Tried. Ruby didn't know what to do. Apparently one of her new friends turns out to be a bully. Blake buried her nose into a book. Weiss was looking at him like he had something to explain to her. Neo was just sitting next to him. Waiting for something. The whole thing didn't make her feel anything. The boring boy and his team became her partner's labor slaves. End of the story. She doesn't understand the commotion. Though, it would be funny to see them tremble like little puppies every time Naruto enters the room. And maybe borrow one of them so he can make her homework. She has to talk with him about this later. Are you not going to explain what is this about at all? Weiss lost her patience. Naruto sighed. He was not in the mood. Meet them last night. They wanted to fight with me. I taught them a lesson. End of the story. Okay. Yang tried to loosen up the atmosphere. How about we talk about something else? Good idea. Her sister agreed. How long have you been on our continent? A little over a year now. Team CRDL arrived with some trails of food. Each of them brought 3 trails so they could serve all of them at once. Once everyone got one, the boys left. Yang had curious look on her face. Last time when we asked about Elemental Nation, you couldn't describe all of it. What about your home? Where were you born? Naruto managed somehow to not get saddened by this question. It is a beautiful place. It's called Konohagakure. Is one of the 5 great villages with the strongest military force. Its name would be translated as the village hidden in the leaves. Is in the fire country, in the middle of a large forest. And when I say large I mean hundreds of kilometers of forest. The whole village was built in the shadow of a mountain. They later used it to carve the heads of its leaders on it. Right now there are 4 colossal heads overlooking every person. They say that even after death they will protect the village. Buo was collective response of the group. That sounds like an honorable way of maintaining their memory, said Ren, but I heard that this countries have kings. How come that this villages have their own leaders even if they are part of the country? Well, this has a lot of history behind it. To keep it short, this villages represent the main military force of the country. They are their most powerful weapon against the enemies. To make sure that they remain like this, there must be a leader who has a past as a warrior. A leader that can only make the army stronger with his decisions. They are the cages. They have full control over what happens inside the village and over its army. However, in a way, they are still working for daimyos or, how you call them, kings. How strong is a cage, asked Purr. They have to be powerful to have influence of such degree. Well, he thought on how to explain their level of power. I haven't met all of them, but one cage would be as powerful as let's say 100 of huntsmen and huntresses that left them with their jaws hanging. Even Neo. You must be joking. John didn't want to believe that this is true. I am not. Look. I am not implying that you are weak or anything. One huntsman is as powerful as a Chunin or Jonin or even Anbu, which are the highest level of power for any soliders in our armies. However, a cage is not a joke. Those who hold that title can no longer be considered humans in terms of strength. They are way beyond. Believe me. I saw 2 of them in action. That is not something you want to fight against. Hey, good thing that we are all in friendly terms, isn't it? Yang tried to joke. The silence took over again. So you met 2 of them? How are they? Asked Emerald. 3 actually. Don't think of them as demons. Without their power they are like any other person. They have families and loved ones. All the good stuff. Just don't piss them off. They can be scary as all hell. Especially the Mizukage. That woman needs a husband. Pent-up sexual frustration. Asked Mercury with a raised eyebrow. Ruby's face became cherry red after hearing that. Only if that would be the problem. I don't like to gossip, but she is getting really angry every time someone mentions anything that can be related to marriage. Even so, I don't understand why didn't anyone ask for her hand yet. That woman looks gorgeous. Noted that. Got to say, beautiful and strong. Seems like one hell of a chick. Mercury, do you ever get your head out of the gutter? Just when I have to. Why? Everyone could tell that he was messing with Emerald. Neo tugged Naruto's sleeve. What? Oh right. I said that I am going to give you the rest of the ice cream. He reached in his jacket. Can I have some? Asked Ruby with hope. Sorry. I promise that I will give all that is left to her. He pulled out the tubes that he pushed in front of Neo. Ruby was pleading with her eyes for Neo to give her some. Neo didn't even look at her. The 15 years old had a look of defeat on her face. Why Neo? I thought we are friends. Emerald was giving Neo a strange look. Girl, I know that is not like me to say this, but you have to take more care of yourself. You ate 7 of those last night. I don't have to be a medic to know that that is not healthy. Neo glanced at her and at her food. The ice cream wins. The good thing that I don't have any left, said Naruto. Now that the classes are over, what are you going to do? Asked Yang. Just some studying for now, said John. I guess we can finish unpacking and decorating the room, said Mercury. I have to do something before that. Again? Asked Emerald. Hey. I had to deal with Cardin and his team last night, so I haven't done any progress. Don't blame me, blame them. He stood up and walked toward the entrance. 3 hours later. Team Un's dorm. The 3 villains finished unpacking their things. They made sure to let some space for their leader, but they have a problem. No matter how you turn them, there is just not enough space for all the beds. It's too cramped. Maybe we should wait for Naruto, said the gray-haired teen. I am 100% sure that he has some kind of magic solution for this. I doubt that he has the answer for every and each one of humanity's problem. There is not enough space in here for all our things and 4 beds. There is just one rational solution. Get rid of some of our things. Naruto entered the room. He had a downcast expression. Hey Naruto, do you have anything that can make the chamber bigger? Huh? He glanced at his teammate. The room is too small for the beds and our things to fit in the same time. Do you have anything that can help? Why don't we make bunk beds of this once? I would rather not sleep in an improvised bunk bed, thank you very much, said Emerald. Come on Blondie. You don't have anything more impressive than that? Well, I could put some seals on the door and make it lead toward a pocket dimension in which we can move everything. The other gave him a strange look. What? You can make that? Yeah. Where do you think I keep all the things that I pull out my jacket? That's a pocket dimension. I thought that on the other side is a storeroom or your house. Nope. Suo want me to do it. The 3 members of the team gave each other a look. And done. Are you done yet? Mercury, for the 5th goddamn time. I will tell that I am done when it will be done. I thought that magic is supposed to be easy and quick. For the last time. This is not magic. Okay. Okay, yes. In Team's dorm, Mercury was standing next to Naruto as he painted strange symbols on the doorframe. Emerald and Neo were sitting on the beds that were cramped in the middle of the room. Suddenly a couple of knocks were heard from the other side of the door. Are you there, guys? It was Ruby and, by the sound of it, the rest of her team and Team JNPR. Yeah? What's the matter? Said Emerald. We are bored, so we decided to drop by. Can we enter? Can they? She asked Naruto. Sure. Why not? He opened the door. Ooh, when I thought that my room back home was messy, said Yang, after seeing the state of their rooms. We are working on it, said Mercury. What are you guys doing? John was unsure if it is a good idea to enter here. It should be better if he invites the rest into their room. Well, we were talking about what to do to fit both our things and the beds inside. After that, Naruto came back from God knows where he went and got this awesome idea. Right now he is working on a pocket dimension where we can move everything. Snap, that was the sound of Mercury's scroll taking a picture of their stunned faces. Neither he could believe that they are going through with Naruto's idea. I would appreciate if you will either enter or let me close the door. I want to finish before it gets too late. Oh, I enter. I want to see this one, said Yang. Me too, declared Ruby. Me and Rennie too. In the end, all of them entered waiting for a huge ritual or magic circles to happen. They were disappointed to see Naruto painting the doorframe with slow motions. Suo, is he going to start soon? Naruto gained a tick mark after hearing John's remark. Worrying, another one. Why does it take so much? Did he lost his magic? Another one. Just how is that supposed to work? That should not be possible. If you can teleport things and make it look like you pulled them out of your jacket doesn't mean that you can bend space too. But you want to do it in my place. Silence. That's what I thought. He got back to work. One more stroke. Second. Third, done. You have to be joking, said Weiss. Naruto opened the door. It did not lead toward the hallway. That door is now leading toward an empty white space that seems to go on and on. They were left slack-jawed. For a good reason. Ruby's first reaction was to take a run for it and enter the new dimension. Yang, you should see this. She yelled from inside. Wait up, Ruby. Yang followed her sister. Naruto waited for everybody to get inside before entering himself, closing the door behind. "This is insane," said John with awe. "I have to agree. However, is there going to be anything here that is not white space?" Purah was very impressed, but this place is as plain as it is big. "Don't worry." Naruto extended his hand. In no time the ground became a grassy field while the ceiling a clear sky. There was even a sun. Woo. How is this possible? Weiss could not believe any of this. What is this person? Neat, isn't it? It took me years to make this real. I nearly lost my head while testing one of the first prototypes. What else can you do? Ruby was seriously thinking about asking Naruto if she can move here. The other had similar thoughts. Well, there is not much that I can change about the dimension itself. Sure, I can change the environment and even make solid soundproof walls out of nothing. However, the things here don't interact well with some of the stuff that are real. Like there is no electricity here unless I bring a generator, and if you need to go the bathroom you better get out of here and then do it. Believe me, I tried. Once you are done and dematerialize the bathroom that you used here, what you got out of your body stays there. And I think that I don't have to point this out, but there is no signal or internet here." He just now realized that they lost interest quickly after hearing his explanation. Ruby and Purah were still smiling, but he could tell that it was out of courtesy. Ruby regained her smile after an idea to her mind. "Oh, can we spawn Grims here? Like a VR game?" That got some of interest back. Naruto smiled. "Funny that you ask. This is actually what I am working on. I tried to read about Grims in the library and see if I can understand how they work. This way I could recreate them and make this place the perfect training ground for a huntsman in training. This is how far I got with it." With another hand gesture a Beowulf appeared. It was a perfect replica, but they could tell that it was just a fake. It was like looking at an NPC non-player character from a video game. It was there. It was moving slightly. Yang tried to touch it and it started to glitch. Okay. That's somehow more scary than the real deal. Don't worry. One more week and they will attack any human or Phronis in sight. Weiss got a closer look at the Beowulf. This is actually an amazing idea. With this, students could train better with zero chance of getting injured. I am here to help. However, don't think that I am going to make one for every and each person who asks. The warriors of justice are not the only ones that can improve themselves. I am thinking about making one for every one of the 4 academies. And by making one for each of them, you mean selling?" asked Emerald. She was impressed by all this, but it's going to be their future enemies that are going to get stronger from using it. She has to find a way to inform Cinder about this and get rid of the whole project. "Hey, I am one of the good guys. I want to help the kingdoms to get rid of the Grims. However, charity is not going to fill my belly nor get me material for my next projects." "That's an understatement," said Blake. "Well, this all good, but I'd rather go with your bunk beds plan. Now that I am here, it looks way too big for a 4-person team," said Mercury. "What about 2? asked Ruby. "Make it 3. This place looks awesome." John was really impressed by the real virtual reality. Neo tugged on Naruto's sleeve. "What it is, Neo?" She held 4 fingers out. 4 teams. She nodded. "Which is the 4th one?" She pointed toward her neck like there was a collar around it. "Dogs." She made an X with her hands. Naruto thought for a few seconds. "Slaves." She nodded. "What slaves?" "There are no slaves in Beacon." Yang gained a huge smile. "Don't know about that. Cardin and his team seemed pretty obedient back there." "I don't have slaves, they are just unpaid errand boys." He tried to defend himself. The other gave him questioning looks. "Well, we are that," started Weiss. "What in dust's name did you do to them? They were looking at you like you were the king of all Grims." "We just talked." "Well, I did the talking." He gained a scary glint in his eyes. "They did the whimpering." His tone made the other shiver. Sans Neo. She got a bit hot under the collar. "Oh, would you look at the time? It's getting late. Maybe we should get back to Beacon. Or does this still counts as inside Beacon?" John didn't know how these things work. Sue him. He never went to another dimension. "Not really. The door is there. Go ahead. I need 5 minutes to finish something. After that, I will bring some nails, wood and hammers and make those bunk beds. Bhhhh. Why bother with those? We managed to make them just with some ropes and books," said Ruby, proud of their work. Naruto gave her a deadpan look. "I will visit your room as well." He doesn't want his new friends to die in a horrific and maybe somehow funny accident. Next day. Dr. Oobleck's class. Naruto was sitting in the middle of the class. Like yesterday, his friends were around him, but today Team CRDL was standing behind them like guard dogs. The teacher was talking really fast, most likely due to how much coffee he drinks, so he had to pay attention to understand what is he saying. "Class, please pay attention. As you know, from the first moments of life of this world, Remnant had a neighboring continent. The 2 of us never shared anything beside the knowledge of each other's existence. But this is going to change. Ladies and gentlemen, we are stepping in a new era. His tone changed. The amount of passion in his voice increased. However, he was more serious than ever. We are the beginning of a new world. One where we will be closer to peace. I am honored to present you your new classmates for the next couples of weeks. When he finished talking, the door opened. 5 figures entered the room. Naruto narrowed his eyes. They all got in front of the class. Oobleck start talking again. These people, along with other that were sent to the other academies, came here to forge the first bonds between our continents. Without further ads, let's meet your new classmates. 4 of them were wearing the standard uniforms. The first one to step in front was a feral-looking teen that had a large dog beside names Kiba and Yuzuka, and this my partner Akamaru. He pointed toward his companion who barked. Next was a shy-looking girl. I am Hinata Hyuga. Pleased to meet you, she somehow managed to say without stuttering. Next was a pale boy. His creepy smile made the uncomfortable. My name is Sai. The last boy had a pair of goggles. My name is Shino Abiram. I hope that we could reach friendly terms. He sounded both polite and emotionless in the same time. The woman who came with them had a smile on her lips. I'm Kurina Yuuhi. I am here as an assistant for Dr. Oobleck during your history classes. Exactly, pointed out the green-haired man. From now on we will study both the history of Remnant and Elemental Nation. I know that some of you might enjoy having to study something that you have never encountered until today. Both I and the principal need to apologize the sudden increase of information that you need to learn to pass this class, but you have to understand how important is this. Our first lesson will be the wars that occurred between the kingdoms and the shinobi wars from Elemental Nation. Please everyone, take a sit. The new student sat in the front row. Kurenai glanced at the students until her gaze fell on Naruto. She was surprised to see him here out of all the possible places. Kiba saw the change on his sensei's face, so he turned his head toward the back of the class. His eyes widened as well. Naruto didn't like it. Not one bit. He had enough of Danzo yesterday when he came from the library. This is the last thing he needed. The lesson started, but his mind flashed back at his encounter. Yesterday. Exit from the library. Naruto could say that for once it was worth to go to the library. He is lucky that there are some people who actually studied Grimm's and their anatomy before. With this he could finish his project. He prepared to go back to his team's dorm. However, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was watched. He glanced around and saw a member of Anbu. He frowned. They are really going to follow him even here. Before he could reach for his weapon, the Anbu spoke. Naruto Uzumaki, Danzo-sama wishes to talk with you. Naruto raised an eyebrow. Really now? And what if I don't want to meet with him? That wasn't a request. It was an order. He clicked his tongue. Of course they'd demand things from him. This is what the civilian council always thought about him. He is to be an obedient dog who takes punishment for something he never done today and brings a bone made out of gold tomorrow. It was like this since old man Hiruzen found out that is a prodigy in Fuinjutsu. I don't care what his orders are. He doesn't have any power over me. Neither does your council. I am no longer an inhabitant of Konoha. The Anbu was getting angry. He hates the Kyuubi brat with passion. If it wasn't for cameras around the campus, he would have already attacked. Get rid of him once and for all. He turned tail and left. Naruto started to walk toward the dorms. He was close to the door when a voice was heard from behind him. I was expecting this response, said Danzo, who came out from the shadow, but I hope that for once you will do what you were born for. Obey your betters. Go to hell, old man. I am sick of you and your village. If any of you wants anything from me, this is my one and only answer. No. Danzo gave him an annoyed glare. It seems that the years away didn't make you any wiser. Come with me. It would be better for both of us if our discussion will not be heard by every student. Naruto rolled his eyes. It's true that getting into a fight with an ambassador is the last thing he needs right now. He already has a bad reputation. He sighed and followed while looking around for ambush and security cameras. They don't have to hear their conversation, but it would be ideal for their meeting to be on tape. He finally stopped when they reached a statue of 2 warriors where the 4 Anbu were staying. I will keep this short. Naruto Uzumaki, you have to die. Naruto didn't wait any moment and got a grip on Shibuki's handle. Is that a threat? Screw beacon and international relationships. If Danzo or his guards do as much as to even make another step toward him, he will strike first. Even if he has to die, the old warhawk will follow him soon after. No. I don't have to move a single finger for that to happen. There are already plenty who would kill you with pleasure. I want to tell you this. Go confront them. Go fight the enemies that you made so far in your life. And take as many as you want with you in the grave. This is your last chance to die with honor. Because if you live longer than your usefulness for us lasts, I will make sure that everyone will remember you. As the beast that you always were. Do you really think that you can scare me? Please. Even if I die by someone's hand, I will make sure that Konoha will take a powerful blow. The only thing that keeps me from doing it right now is the fact that I owe old man Hiruzen too much. Pray and beg that he will live to lead the village for a long time. There was silence. You are making a great mistake, Uzumaki. My life is full of mistakes. I always deal with them. Danzo and his guards left. There is going to be a war. Naruto knew it. A war between him and Danzo. He can bring his army, but he was in Uzumaki. Numbers never mattered for them. As long as he could move one muscle, the old man wouldn't win. Back to the present. Naruto was brought back to reality by Oobleck's voice. This is all for today, class. Until next time, I want every of you to read about the following of the First Shinobi War and how it resembles the ancient wars. You are dismissed. Everybody got up from their seats and headed toward the doors. He could hear some grumbles about useless stuffs that they have to learn, but he couldn't care less. His main priority was the new students. 3 of them are from clans. The Hyuga girl doesn't have the cage bird curse seal. She must be from the main branch. The leaders of their clans were on my side during the meeting back then, but this doesn't mean that I can trust them yet. God damn it. Why does this have to happen? And what is up with the 4th one? He gives me bad vibes. Hey Naruto. You okay? You spaced out a lot during the class. Ruby was concerned by his behavior. Oh, I know. What if we meet with the new guys? It might cheer you up. You know, talking with someone from back home. Ruby, just because we are from the same country doesn't mean that felt home there. Oh. Wait. They're from Kanoho. Konoha. Yes, they are from there. Mercury decided to interfere in their talk. What did you do? You sound like they don't like you much. Well, I was never a good person in their eyes. And it doesn't help that I did a lot of pranks in my time there. Like. He smiled. Remember the monument that I talked about? Yeah. I have drawn doodles all over it in broad daylight when I was 5. Ruby and Mercury remained quiet for a couple of seconds. Then, they started to giggle. Followed by a full-blown laughter after imagining 4 gigantic heads made out of stone well-covered childish doodles. What's with them? Asked Emerald. Just told them a story from my youth, said Naruto, while trying to make himself sound a bit older for the fun of it. Okay then. Watch your back, Gramps. Ha 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 ha. Will do, Missy. Will do. Now let's go and see. Good old Porty tried his best to sound like an old man. Stop that voice. Later. Naruto and his friends just finished their last class for today. The team that came from Konoha didn't approach him yet. This was a good thing for him. He doesn't know what to do now. Not that he got a lot of choices. He can either work on his project or good around with his friends. Usually he would choose the latter without a question, but finishing his project means 100 more ways that he can train. He would probably do that. Hey, Naruto, said John. Yes. Sorry if it sounds like I am trying to use you, but can you help us understand what is up with this Shinobi Wars? Since you are, you know, from there. I just glanced in the book and the first thing I saw were names that I don't believe that I can pronounce. Why not? Most of them are stuffs that I already know anyway. It seems that he has a new choice. Nice. You there? He heard from behind. Naruto turned around to see who yelled. The boy with the dog was looking straight at him. Wait a moment. His shouts got a lot of attention from the other students. His friends stopped to see what was happening. Yang approached her fellow blonde. What's his business? Don't know. Or at least I hope that it isn't what I think it is. Hiba and his team got next him. The brown-haired boy was looking straight at Naruto. You are Uzumaki Naruto, aren't you? He expected nothing less. He didn't lie about his reputation. It's hard to believe that someone wouldn't recognize him. Yes. Is there any problem? He tried to not sound menacing or anything. What happened next surprised everyone. Awesome. Kaiba had face-splitting grin on his face. Akamaru barked with excitement. What? Ah. Naruto expected more aggression toward him. Hoshino was a bit embarrassed by his teammates' behavior. I am sorry for his outburst. However, I too am happy to be in the presence of an accomplished shinobi such as yourself. He extended his right hand. Naruto accepted the handshake. It seems that they heard the good things about him. He didn't expect that from a Konoha shinobi. I am pleased to meet you. Hiba took out an electronic scroll. Can we take a picture? Okay. Cool. Hey you, he pointed toward Pura. Sorry, can you take the picture? Pura didn't know how to react to this. She was always on the other side of the camera. She took the device in her hands and prepared for them to prepare the pose. Hiba got on Naruto's left side while dragging Hinata with him. Shino and Sai were standing on the right side. Akamaru was in front of the blonde snap. All this time the other students were stunned. That boy just made the Pura Nikos take a picture of them and the school bully. WTF. Weiss was not going to stay quiet at this one. She stomped her way toward the brown-haired boy who is now taking back his scroll. She pointed her finger at him even if she was right next to him. Ruby used Yang and Blake as human shields to hide herself. She had to deal with this 3 times already. She is not going to get tangled in this one. Me? Asked a boy, unsure on what did he do to make this chick angry. Do you even know who you just talked with? And more important, who did you just pushed aside so you can have a picture with him?" She pointed toward Naruto. "Love you too, Ice Queen." "Really?" Biba raised an eyebrow at this. Did she just ask him that before talking like that with the Naruto Uzumaki? Let me enlighten you. This is Purah. 4-time winner of the Mistral regional tournament. She has the title of the invisible girl. Hello, Purah waved to them. They just blinked. There was no reaction. Her face is on every Pumpkin Pete cereal box. "Oh, so she is like a superstar." Kaib smiled a bit. No other reaction. "Are you kidding me? This is all you have to say." "Well, I think that this is a great accomplishment," said Hinata. "Beacon does indeed hold its reputation with this kind of student," said Shino. "Yeah, is cool and all. However, do you know who you just talked with?" She crossed her hands. "Impress me." Naruto face palmed. He didn't say anything about what kind of reputation he had back in Elemental Nation for a reason. He was sick tired of all the recruiting offers he got from countries and rich people. If that comes back to light in public, he can kiss goodbye any chances left for him to have a normal school life. "Please someone stop him. If I do it, the others will grow more curious." For once in his life, his prayers were heard. Mrs. Glinda was coming toward them with a serious look on her face. "Teammate and Naruto Uzumaki. Ospen wishes to speak with you. Now." "Thank you. I owe you big time, Mrs. Goodwitch. I guess that I will see you later. I hope that is not about the chunk of forest destroyed by me," he said while waving goodbye at them. Teammate followed after him. They have seen the headmaster yesterday, but they had other interaction with him since Glinda was the one who presented them the campus. What could he want from them? Ospen's office. The 5 teens were waiting for the headmaster to start talking. However, he pressed a button on his desk that created a holographic screen. The image shown by it was something that Naruto was already very familiar with. "Old man," said the blonde with a grin. The image of the smiling third Hokage was clear to everyone. "It's good to see you again, my boy. I guess that I was summoned here by you, haven't I?" "Exactly, Mr. Uzumaki," started Ospen. "Lord Hiruzen and I talked for a bit regarding a problem of Elemental Nation. He insisted that you and teammate can solve it." Hiruzen gained a serious look. "Yes, we are dealing with a troubling matter. As you may already heard, Remnant and Elemental Nation made the travel to and from one another more accessible for the people. I am ashamed to say that this already brought troubles." Naruto and the rest gained a general idea of what happened. "Somebody not so friendly came to Remnant. More people than we would like. All of them are part of an unnamed criminal group and scattered through all Remnant. What do they want is uncertain. Our trash is there. We must be the ones to clean it. If one of our first contacts with Remnant will be a mass murder or illegal activity, our relationship will be unstable for a long time. Ospen is going to help us to keep this away from the eyes and ears of the public." Naruto raised one hand. "Wait. I am glad that I had the chance to hear you, old man. I am. However, I don't get orders from Konoha. You already have 4 Anbu, Danzo Shimura, Jonin Kurenai Yuuhi and 4 Genins armed and ready right here, right now. Why do I get to be here in the first place? They could handle the situation just fine." The old Hokage sighed. He could not blame the boy for hating Konoha. He should be thankful that he hasn't left room yet. "This is not an order from me. The 5 Kages decided that every shinobi on Remnant has to do everything in his power to stop them. I know that I ask a lot from you. I want you to help us as a mercenary, not as a soldier. Danzo and his guards need to attend to a meeting in Atlas Tomro, and his absence will raise questions. Teammate will go to Vale tonight. If you wish to accept my request, then go with them." Naruto pondered for a second. Without Danzo there, the Genins might have some troubles. As much as he hates the old fossil, he can't deny his strength. "Okay, you won this one. I will go. And I will not charge you." Sarutobi smiled. "Just because I owe you. Don't get any idea. This is more than I could ask for. I wish you all the best of luck with this." The call ended. Naruto's first thought was that the old man was in a hurry to get back to his paperwork. Those seemed to never end for him. Ospen took a sip from his coffee before speaking to them. "I wish that I could send more reinforcement with you. I truly do. However, this operation needs the utmost amount of discretion. The number of people who will know about this is reduced to higher officers of the police, representatives of the army and the council. The police and our huntsmen will do come in your help once the events will no longer endanger the peace between Remnant and Elemental Nation, or if things get out of hand. If that happens, you have to call once it is possible so we can know how and where to send our men. I will keep that in mind. Although, I have to ask. How do you expect us to find them? There are less than a dozen shinobis in each kingdom. There are rumors in the less decent places about a group of people that allied itself with the White Fang. This will be your starting point. We have investigations running in secret. We will inform you once we get the info. And don't worry. You all will be excused from classes until this is over. Can I tell my team anything about this?" He was their teammate for less than a week and he already left to do some secret business twice. He had to tell them something this time, otherwise they are going to think that he is a douchebag who does whatever the hell he wants without caring about his team. Lying isn't an option. That might bite him in the backside in the long run. I would appreciate if you will not reveal too much. Deal. Now, if you excuse me, I have to announce them that I will be missing for a couple of days. He headed toward the door with teammate behind him. There is no reason for them to stay any longer. As soon as they left, Osmond turned his attention toward Glinda. Did you manage to gather the information that I asked for? Yes. And I have to say that I am most impressed. It seems that Mr. Uzumaki is more than we ever thought. If even half of the rumors about him are true, he may as well be on par with Crow. Or even better than that. Do you really think that is a good idea to keep him here? Among the students. Osmond took another sip, unfazed by the revelation brought by Glinda. He made a lot of efforts to lay low since he came to Remnant. I admit, I can't say that trust him yet. However, I don't see him as a possible threat. No criminal would deserve the words that Lord Hiruzen said about him. Mr. Uzumaki may be exactly what we need right now. Only time could tell us what role will he have in this game of death that we play. The blonde woman remained silent. She hoped that the future will not be as dark as Osmond thinks. Demon's dorm. Mercury was doing push-ups while Emerald was studying about something that he couldn't care less about. Neo was nowhere to be seen. She left the group not long after Naruto and teammate went with Goodwitch. The door opened and Naruto entered. Where's Neo? Asked him. Don't know. The other boy raised himself from the ground. What happened? Already in trouble? Asked Emerald with a hint of amusement in her voice. Not really. However, I will be gone for a couple of days. I don't know exactly how long. Mercury raised an eyebrow. Skyping classes already? It hasn't been even a week since school started. Har har har. Very good joke. No, I'm not trying to skip classes. I have to go and do some errands for an old friend whom I owe a lot. The principal knows what it is all about and arranged a fly for me tonight. I just wanted you to know this. Just an errand. Sounds kind of important. If Osmond is willing to help you get there. Emerald sensed that there is something more to it. What can I say? I have friends in high places back in Elemental Nation. Anyway, please tell this to the others as well. I have to prepare some things for the road. The two undercover villains were kind of suspicious. There is something happening and their happy-go-lucky leader is not telling them anything. Either there is really something unimportant or he is not allowed to speak about it. And where is Neo? As everyone, except for them, has to go missing on regular basis. And done. Let's start. Naruto was waiting for the bullhead to reach Vale. Hinata, Shino, Kiba were talking between each other about some common stuff like their families and what could the criminals that they are searching for want. Sai was just standing there. Like a robot that doesn't have a command to follow. It was nerve-wracking for our protagonist. What's the deal with this, guys? Just what did they heard about me back in Konoha? It's hard to believe that the civilians didn't start yelling about my status as a Jinchuriki as soon as I left. They most likely threw a huge party in the moment when I left the village. Are they trying to fool me? Hey? Kiba tried to get his attention. What is it? Don't take it as an offense, but I want to ask you something. Is it okay for you to be on the battlefield? There are some nasty rumors going around about what happened to you. Which rumors exactly? This was a genuine question. If he would have a penny for each thing said about him in Elemental Nation, he would be the richest person alive. You know. In Kiri. Oh, those rumors. He crossed his arms. Don't worry about those. I am healthy enough to carry my own battles. Kiba gained a confused look. I find that hard to believe if even half of what is said is true. That's also what the doctor said after seeing me walking just fine. It just took me a couple of weeks to recover, said Naruto with a smug smile. That was one funny reaction coming from a professional person. Excuse me, said Hinata. MHH. There is also a question that has been bothering me for a while. She tried to find the right words. Can you tell us why did you left Konoha? Shino and Kiba were interested too. Naruto sighed. Just so you know, you are asking some rather personal questions. Hinata blushed. I am sorry. It's fine. I will make a deal with you. I will answer your question if you all answer some of my own. How about this? As long as you don't ask things that are not too personal or close to Konoha's secrets, I don't see any problem, said Shino with his other teammates agreeing. He gained a serious look. Well then, what did you hear about me? What else? I said it already. We know that you are a he, not those rumors. What did the villagers told you about me? Hinata was the first to talk. I am sorry, but I don't know. What do they say about you? Father told me to not listen to those who are foolish enough to talk about things that they don't understand, whatever that means. Anyway, he told me that you should be considered a reason for pride. The same could be said about my father, said Shino. There are flies who need to be ignored, he said. Well, I didn't listen too much to the gossip from back home. However, I do remember that my mother came from a bar one time and she was really angry. Something about some bitches who disrespect fine warriors. I didn't quite get all of it. She was half drunk at the time. But I am sure that she said your name somewhere along the lines. Naruto stayed quiet for a second. Fa ha ha ha. Hey. Is there something funny about my mom? Kiba got a bit angry. No. No, I am sorry haha. Oh god, he wiped some tears from his eyes. Hey, are you by any chance the son of Tsumin Yuzuka? Yeah. What about it? Do you know her? That explains some things. And yes, I know her. Well, sort of. No matter how much I try, I can't forget her speech about how the members of the civilian council are bitches and pups that should stop whimpering and that they should take that stick out of their asses and play fetch with it somewhere far away from official business. Hiba grinned. Yup. That sounds like her. Ha ha ha, he joined Naruto while Hinata blushed due to the language. The blonde boy stopped laughing. You sure have one-of-a-kind parents. But don't get ahead of yourselves. You still have a long way to gain my trust. And now about why I left Konoha. Let's just say that I got in a pretty big fight with a lot of civilians. This made the civilian council go insane. After that, Sarutobi Jiji let me travel on my own. It was hard sometimes, but I survived. I am sorry to hear that, said Hinata. You don't have to. It is not like I am complaining. His face and tone became serious again. Hey. I got one last question for you all. Is it true that Grims start to appear in Elemental Nation? Yes. Nasty little things. They are slaughtered by the 5 great nations like no tomorrow. Of course, there are nowhere as many as here. The shinobi could handle them just fine until now. Kiba stopped. I sense a but here. They are still looking for a way to get rid of them once and for all. There are also some villages destroyed by them. The greatest mind from back home are banging their heads on the table trying to understand why the hell did they appear now. Naruto sighed. Damn it. I heard something about pitch black monsters just before I left Elemental Nation. At the time, I thought that it was just a villager who saw a pack of wolves or some bears in the woods during the night. I learned about Grims just a couple of days after I reached Tremont. If I knew better back then, I would have stayed. I doubt that just one person would have been of any help, no matter who it might have been. Shino fixed his goggles. Those things managed to kill so many people just because they attacked in various places at once without anyone knowing about their existence in the first place. There is no one to blame and nothing that we could have done. Well, aren't you the positive one? Naruto asked with sarcasm. However, I can't argue with that logic. They would have continued their talk if it wasn't for Kurenai, who just came back from the cockpit. She was curious to see how this machine could work from the inside. The pilot, a male, didn't mind her at all. Get ready for the landing. We are going to reach Vale. It was not long until the bullheads start going closer to the ground. The lights of the city lightened the dark night. Their ride landed on a remote area, a slum near the border of the city. To be more specific, we are not even going to go to a regular landing ground. I understood the whole "we were never here," but seriously. Couldn't they just shut down the cameras while we get off and say that it was a malfunction? The bullhead flew away after they got down. He would have continued his internal rant. However, there was a presence near him. It was not a member of Team 7. Someone else was with them. Just by looking around, he saw that Kurenai noticed as well. Faster than the other 4 could react, they caught whoever it was and pinned him or her to the ground. The Genins had no idea why did Naruto and Kurenai just jump to thin air. It was soon revealed to them that they tackled Neo, who turned visible again. She was not very happy with her position. Why do they keep finding her? Not fair. Neo? Asked Naruto. What are you doing here? She just smiled at him. Don't you give me that smile. He and Kurenai got up. Do the others know that you are here? Neo got up and dusted herself. She proceeded to show him her scroll. Naruto was looking at the last message she sent to Emerald. School's boring. I am going with Naruto. He is doing something funny. If teachers ask about me, tell him that I am sick from eating too much ice cream. Number like that would ever happen. Milo XD. Naruto gave Neo an uncertain look. He really doesn't know what to do with her. After an internal debate, he came to the obvious conclusion. I mind if I take her with me? There are no bullheads toward Beacon until tomorrow, and she just made it clear that I can't let her out of sight. Given the fact that she probably already knows about our mission, why not? Just keep her safe, said Kurenai. Okay, he turned toward Neo again. You are in so much trouble when we get back. She just smiled at him like it was nothing to worry about. To be fair, she was very happy. They may have found her, but she got a very important information. Her ability isn't useless against the people from Elemental Nation. She stayed with them in the same bullhead all the way from Beacon. No one detected her during this time because she kept her distance from them. And the other 4 couldn't sense her. Not even when she was next to them. Only the older woman and her partner did. Though, this raised a new question. Does this mean that every shinobi that reaches a certain level of power will be able to sense her? Also, Naruto, who found her 3 times already, is as powerful as this woman who is supposed to be a teacher. Whoa, who's the girl? Asked Kiba. She looks really cute. She managed to sneak on us with easy. As ashamed as I am as a member of a tracking-oriented team, I must admit that it is impressive, said Shino with his usual serious tone. Hinata didn't said anything. She looked at the unknown girl for a bit and recalled seeing her with Naruto during the classes. Sai remained unfazed, quite a useful ability. To be able to turn invisible at will. It is perfect for stealth missions such as this, even if it sounded like a praise, he had other things in mind. Danzo-sama must hear about this. The extent of semblances is astonishing. She is Neo, my partner since the initiation and a friend of mine. I only hope that Emerald is not angry that I let this happen. Just when he finished talking, his scroll vibrated, indicating that he got a message. Hold on for a second. He checked to see who it was and saw that it was Emerald. Neo is with you. Don't let her out of your sight when you find her. Tell her that she is dead once I see her again. Naruto turned his head to see that Neo was behind him and read the message as well. She seemed very worried about the last part of it. Knowing that is going to be hell on earth once she returns to Beacon, Neo used her trump card. Both her eyes changed to pink while giving Naruto the cutest hurt puppy look that she was able to make. What? No. No, no. No to the no, no, no. I am not getting involved in this. She made it clear that she is angry with you and you alone. Her lower lip was trembling. Don't do this to me. I have done more than enough already. He tried to resist, but his defenses were getting destroyed quickly. She caught his right arm while tears threatened to fall from her eyes. Naruto was trying his damn best, but it was fruitless. Fine. You win. I will take some of the blame on me. I will tell her that I should have been more careful about it and that I shouldn't have let my guard down. Just stop that look. Great Kami, do I feel like I kicked a defenseless puppy? Neo jumped out of happiness. Teammate was looking at their interaction with amusement, except for 2 individuals. Now if you 2 are done, we have to move out. We have just 1 lead right now, but we don't know what might the local police find for us. Alright, said Naruto. Unknown to them was the fact that they will face a sleepless night full of dead ends. 7 a.m. Beacon. With Emerald and Mercury. The silver-gray-haired teen had a long night. Once Emerald found that Neo went with Naruto without any warning, he had to listen to her rage-filled rant. I should have gone with them, thought he while trying his best to brush aside his headache. I hope she doesn't start with round 2 so early in the morning or at all. Who would have thought that the well-mannered Emerald had such a colorful language? He was dressed in his uniform and ready to go outside before Emerald could exit from the bathroom. He opened the door and saw that Team RWBY and JNPR were there with Ruby ready to knock on the door. Good morning, sunshine, said Yang in a joking manner after seeing that Mercury didn't look like he got enough sleep. Not really, he said while rubbing his eyes. Hey, we actually came to see if everything is alright. Last night there were a lot of noises coming from your room, said John. Of course his cough, said Nora under her hand. Don't even ask about it. Seriously. Don't even think about that. Right when he finished talking, Emerald came out from the bathroom with a slight frown on her face. The other already knew that she was the one yelling last night, however they have no idea why. From their perspective, the green-haired girl started to yell in the middle of the night for no reason. Hey Emerald. Nora greeted her with her usual happiness. What made you so angry last night? Mercury wanted to slap his face and then slap Nora. He really wanted to, but he was not such a to actually hit a girl for that alone. But great goodness did he wanted to. Oh, I don't know, she started, it's just the fact that I felt like I am the only one who actually cares about anything. Her frown changed to an attempt to smile, but why do I even do this? I will just take my nonsenses to the classroom and hope that I come back to reality and lose interest in anything. With this, she went ahead of the group. Wow. Someone really screwed up, didn't they? Said Yang. Weiss wanted to say something, but then realized an important detail. Weren't you supposed to be 4? And there you have the reason why she is angry. Well, half of it is the reason. What do you mean half of it? And where did they go? Asked Ruby. I don't have any idea. Yesterday, Naruto came back from his meeting with the headmaster and said that he has to go somewhere for a couple of days. Something about paying a debt to an old friend. However, it sounded pretty important. Heck, even Ozpin helped him go wherever the hell it is. Even so, what we didn't expect was that Neo followed him without saying anything. Ish, if this was enough to make her that angry, I should be more careful around her, said John. Even if he could understand why is she angry, Emerald seems to be overreacting a bit. From his point of view at least. Well, it's a bit of a bummer that Naruto and Neo are not around. I was really looking forward to see that movie with the whole gang, said Ruby. Movie? What movie? Oh yeah. Sorry. We wanted to ask you guys if you want to go with us to Vale to see a movie. They are going to make a premiere of a movie made in Elemental Nation. She leaned a bit toward Mercury and whispered the last part just between us. I think that Weiss is more interested in the actress than the movie. I heard that Ruby. And yes, I am guilty. I really want to see her performance on screen. Is our little Weiss a fangirl now? Asked Yang with a cheeky grin. Not a fangirl. Just a fan. And I mean, who wouldn't be? This woman is both a famous actress and the leader of the most technologically advanced country from Elemental Nation. I find inspiration in Miss Koyuki's work ever since I saw her first movie last year, said the white-themed girl with a soft smile. We can practically see a movie rated as 9 out of 10 and learn enough about the new continent to be able to understand the lessons from the history classes, said Blake. This is what I call an opportunity. Sounds good. I will see if I can convince Emerald to come as well. Or at least find a way to go with you without making her more angry than she already is. When do we go? Today. There is a ship going there after school and the movie starts at 4. If we hurry we will get there just in time. Ruby was very happy about this. Not only that she got a heck lot of new friends in less than a week, but they are also going to do normie things like going to a movie together. Her idea of fun on a normal day was usually working at Crescent Rose or drowning herself in weapon magazines and cookies. Am I the only one who thinks that she did that at least once? Like actually seeing her covered from head to toes in magazines and cookies XD. What about the tickets? Weiss already took care of that, said Purr. She too was happy that she can do things that normal girls do. She smiled a bit. Coming here was a very good decision. We should really get going now. We still have to go through today's classes, said Ren. Like that the two teams plus one made their way down the hallway. With Naruto. 14:15. A random park. I lost an entire night of sleep for nothing. He was greatly annoyed. Those criminals are definitely not new to this. They were given lead after lead via scrolls, but in the end they found nothing. Whoever these guys are, they must have thought that someone will try to find them. They are either geniuses and playing 10 steps ahead of them, or they have a way to find what are he and the others doing. He leaned on the bench he was sitting on and sighed. The other were not better. Neo started to regret coming with them. She was tired, hungry, her legs hurt, and now she is far more bored than she ever was at school. She was sitting next to Naruto while trying her best to not fall asleep. However, it was a hard task since the bench became miraculously a comfy bed in her mind, with Naruto as possible pillow. She was inches away from leaning on him and just sleep for a few hours. Teammate was sitting on other bench next to theirs. Kurenai was standing in front of them, checking the last message that she got from the police department and something from Osban. We can finally say that this search brings results. How so? Asked Kiba with a tired voice. Akamaru was already sleeping at his feet. The team from Sunigakuren managed to find the center of operation from Mistral. Those are the good news. And what are the bad ones? Asked Naruto. They have no idea where are the others. Their leaders made it clear that they shouldn't reveal their position, not even toward the other members. They were just headless sheeps who were following orders that were given to them over a month ago. So at least someone is doing progress, said Kiba a bit dejected. Do we have any other lead, or are we literally going to go around blindly and hope to find them? Nothing as far as no. Even so, I think that it's time to take a break and go eat somewhere. Kurenai's offer was approved by Neo's noisy stomach. Her only breakfast was a chocolate bar around 6 hours ago. Naruto didn't had even that. He tried his absolute best to finish this mission quick, so he barely even talked. In Neo's opinion, he was boring when he gets so serious. If you are so kind to take care of my jacket while I am gone, I can go really fast and get some food for everyone. I know some cafeterias in the other side of the city with great food. How are you going to reach the other side of the city as fast as you say? We have been running beside you all night and you don't seem faster than us, said Kiba. I have my ways. Do you want me to or not? Kurenai was about to say something, but she stopped as she felt her own stomach ready to rumble. That would be nice of you. Thank you very much. She had some ration bars on herself, but she would prefer anything with taste. Are there any that serves food close to the one back home? Call it bad influence from Anko, but some dangos would be great. Not really. Not that I know of at least. Just don't touch my jacket while I am gone. He put his jacket on the bench and jumped in the pocket dimension. The members of the Konoha team, Sansai, were left with their jaws hanging after seeing this. Neo took notice of this. Their reaction showed clearly that not all the people from Elemental Nation are capable of pulling stunts like this like it was a normal thing. How did he manage that? Asked Kiba while looking at the pink and brown-haired girl for answers. Neo just raised her shoulders. She chose to not question the portal jacket thing too much. It was the best for her. You really don't talk much, do you? Asked the same person. She shook her head. She was not able to in the first place, and she stopped feeling awful about it long ago. It's cool. You actually kind of improved my point of view regarding pink-haired girls. You seem cool. She gave him a small smile. The other one that we know can be annoying as hell. And damn her loud voice. One day I am going to get deaf from listening to her. Neo could tell that this girl is not someone she wanted to meet. For various reasons. There was a pause after that. Hey, Kiba looked again at Neo. I know that this is going to sound like a fanboy question, but how is it like to be in the same team with Naruto Uzumaki? I mean, in how many insane adventures did he drag you in? Kiba. Come on, Kurenai-sensei. This guy is known across the whole continent as a trouble magnet. He is like a legend at this point. Wherever he goes, adventure follows. I want to know. It's rude to talk about people behind their back, said Hinata. Oh, not you too, Hinata. It's not like I am saying bad things about him. Maybe not, started Shino, but you sure did a good impression of Ino when she is in her gossip mode. For the love of even you. As they continued their talk, Neo was analyzing everything they said about her partner. He didn't keep secret the fact that he is well known in Elemental Nation. When they asked him for a picture, she thought that he was some kind of celebrity, like Per and Ikos. However, it seems that he is something more than that. She smiled. She really did found herself a funny partner. She started to type something on her scroll as the others seemed to have finished their talk. Even if it is rude to assume that just because he got here troubles started as well, I have to agree with you in one regard, said Kurenai while crossing her arms. It's rather strange that he chose to come to this academy. With his history he could as well become one of the 12 guardian ninja. Like Asuma-sensei? Asked Hinata. That only if he doesn't get a better offer. I heard that he has deep connections in Kiri since the war ended and that he is in friendly terms with the Kazukiage and his family, said Kiba. In his mind, he was feeling very jealous. He has to gain more attention to his name as fast as possible. Not to mention the minor countries. After all, Fuinjitsu masters are searched by every and each country since the creation of the body armor seal, added Shino. The body armor seal was a self-explaining name. Once it is placed on someone's body, it can create a chakra armor around the user, much like how the huntsmen are able to protect themselves using aura. Its apparition was the event that started a new age of the shinobi era. One where seals more valuable than ever. Be it in one of the 5 great nations or a smaller one, if you are a seal master you will find a job in no time. The only problem is that the number of seal masters is painfully low. After they relied so much on the mass production of the already existent seals, there was no one who cared enough to develop new ones. If Uzushio would have been still alive at this moment, it would be the richest country from Elemental Nation, as well as the main target of everyone, to be fair. Another thing brought by this seal was a huge boost for the confidence of the Kunoichis. His common knowledge that this seal was created by a Kunoichi that now works for Kumo. Kiba felt that someone was tugging on his sleeve. Neo showed him her scroll. We fought a giant boar grim and he made the wannabe bullies of the school into his labor slaves. Does this count as adventures? Kiba and the others had to think about their answer for a bit. Yeah. I think that the first one counts. Yes, I am sure that the first was definitely an adventure. He really wasn't expecting the second part. Nor did the others. However, this explains why those 4 boys were guarding Naruto and his friends all day. Poor suckers. They must have angered him very much. However, slaves. Just what did they do to him? Or should I ask, what did he do to them? Only the thought sent shivers down his spine. His reputation is not all rainbows and sunshines. They all nearly jumped when they saw Naruto's head coming out of the jacket. Sorry for taking so long. When he got out completely, they saw a lot of paper bags in his hands. Whoa. That's a lot of food. Said Kiba with a bit of droll on the side of his lips. Akamaru was wiggling his tail from happiness. I didn't know what would you prefer, so I brought a bit of everything. That's really thoughtful of you, given the fact that we don't have your trust yet, said Kurenai with a smile. So you heard that one? Yes. However, you shouldn't worry. We shinobi should never let our guard down, and you have a few reasons to distrust us. Naruto smiled. I don't know if Konoha changed very much during the years that I was away, or if I simply didn't meet the right people while I was there, but you sure are more than I expected any of you to be. This is a compliment. Neo tugged on his sleeve to get his attention. Yes, Neo. I got you some ice cream. Her cheeks puffed. Even if she is happy about having her favorite dessert, this wasn't what she wanted to ask. She pointed toward his jacket and then at the food. How did I got it? Well, it's simple. My jacket allows me to get to my pocket dimension thanks to the seal that I placed on it. From there, I can access any other seal similar with it. I have one such seal placed near the cafeteria from which I got all this. You used a complex seal just so you can have a quick way to get food? Asked Kiba while munching on some fried meat. Not really. I do most of my shopping in that side of the city. The others accepted his answer only to be struck by realization. You could have teleported us in Vale right away. Asked Kiba, angry. Why didn't you do that? Why else? Naruto sat down and began to eat. This jacket is my only portable entrance since I don't like to have too many of my creations around. It would make it easy to be stolen by others. The same can be said about my other gates. I don't put them all over the place. I make sure that they are hard to find and just where I really need them to be. Currently, I have 4 of them in Remnant and 3 in Elemental Nation. And even if someone finds them, I can destroy them from inside the pocket dimension. I even change their location once every 2 months, he stated proudly. You really did put a lot of thought in how to make sure that they are not found, didn't you, said Shino with a sweet drop on the back of his head. I am quite protective toward my projects. Of course, I am going to remove the seal from Vale, now that you know of it, he finished with a big smile. They didn't know how to respond to this. He just straight up told them that he doesn't trust them enough to even let them know the general location of his seal. Even more, he did it with a smile. You really resent Konoha Shinobi, don't you? Asked Kurenai with a bit of sweet on the side of her face and a forced smile. Not really. I just don't like to have things stole from me, especially by people from Konoha. His smile didn't fade at all. The civilian screwed up. That's for sure, thought Kiba. Naruto-kun can be really scary as an enemy. Hinata was thankful that her father never went against him. Note to self, don't get on his bad side. Such enemy can make you lose before the battle could start. Shino pushed his goggles with his index finger. Uzumaki-san is indeed as resourceful as he is troublesome for Danzo-sama's plan. I should talk about this with Hokage-sama. Naruto may be more angry with the way Konoha treated him than we initially thought. Kurenai hopped. That is not too late to make him realize that they can still redeem themselves. At least the ones that cared about him can. Naruto covered his mouth while whipping his lips from some sauce baka. In reality, I have 7 seals in Remnant and 5 in Elemental Nation. For a second, he had a smile that would make a certain infamous Death Note user proud. And done. I am really starting to doubt that they are even trying to give us any good info. Just saying, said Naruto after what seems to be the 100 failed interrogations in the last 24 hours. I have to agree with him on this one, said Kurenai. Even she got annoyed by this obvious joke. Still, we've got one last place to search. Good luck with that. I am not going to waste one more second with this. I am going to find this guy's in my way. Follow me or the police. I don't care. Come on, Neo. Teammate watched as they left. Shino turned his head toward his sensei. He did raise a point. None of the 5 leads that were given to us were of any good. Should we really place our trust in this one? Sai, no. No, we shouldn't. Change of plan, everyone. We will split up and search around. Kiba, you come with me. Shino and Sai, you two go and look in south area. Hinata, you go and join Naruto. I have a feeling that he already has something in mind and they might need help. Understood. They said as Hinata hurried to catch up with Naruto. But Naruto. 30 minutes later. Naruto will openly admit that he knows some not so nice people. He encountered them either by mistake or during his self-appointed missions. However, he learned to use everything at hand in order to survive. This is why he closed his eye on some of the less harmful of them. Like cops who are willing to close their own eyes for money, gangs who claims places as their own and are open to the idea of fighting for them, people who sell a lot of things. Except for drug dealers in the last section of his list. These people started to fear him like he is the devil after they came across him. One such person is known around Vale as Junior. He is an information broker. If you want to know about any illegal affair that takes place around here, then he is your guy. For most of the people it would be hard to get information from him unless they are part of the operation. For most of the normal people. For Naruto. A walk in the park. They reached his club just to find the closed sign showed proudly on the door. The girls thought that Naruto's plan failed from the get-go until they saw pulling Shibuki from his jacket. Stay back, he said to them as he prepared to knock on the door. Inside the club, a lot of mans dressed in black suits were working all around the place. Junior, a tall black-haired, bearded man, was chugging down some alcoholic drinks while trying to forget about his fight with a certain blonde-haired teenager chick. Damned blondes. Always getting their noses in my work and destroying everything. Damn it all. I am going to kill the next blonde that walks through my door, thought he in his half-drunk form. Boom. The doors burst in fire. His men pointed their weapons at the entrance. Junior. Just because I was nice enough to not destroy your place last time I was here doesn't mean that I can't do it now. I hate blondes. Yelled Junior in his mind. He didn't had enough courage to say it out loud. Instead, he rushed toward the door. I mean, sir. I was not expecting to see, nor did I wish to. Cut the polite act. I need information and I know that you have them. Anything that makes you stop from trashing the club. You dumb, insane idiot. What do you know about some new guys running illegal business around here? Junior's eyes lit up. 3 guys. They came here with Roman Torchwich once. They were talking about some preparations for an assassination attempt. I don't know who they want dead, but it sounds important. Naruto was surprised to say at least. This the first time he got information from him so easy. Usually he had to remind him that he can destroy the club otherwise a couple of times and then beat him. However, this time he is more than happy to say everything he knows. They said something about the docks. I don't know anything else, finished Junior. Junior. I hope you know that if this is just a joke, I am going to return and kick your ass. Is not. I swear. Naruto tried to look in his eyes and see if he is saying the truth. I don't have any idea what made you so eager to cooperate, but I don't like it. Something happened here, isn't that so? Those three. They did something while they were here, didn't they? Look, I gave you all the information that you needed. I can't give you anything else. Naruto raised an eyebrow. His hand went toward the inside of his jacket. Junior tensed. When Naruto pulled it out, he revealed a lot of liens that he handed to owner of the club. If there is any cop that asks about the explosions, tell them that it was an accident. Also, there is some extra for the door. I thought that I had to scare you a little, but it seems that it wasn't the case. He turned back and headed toward the exit. He was ready to leave when a sudden realization hit him. Hey Junior. The twins. Aren't they supposed to be working today? The older man stayed silent for a few seconds. They are free for the next 3 months. For health reason. Is that so? Naruto got outside where Neo and Hinata were waiting for him. To the docks. Call the others. These guys are dangerous and they don't have troubles harming people. Junior watched as they left from his doorstep. Every time you leave I wish from the bottom of my heart that you die. This time only. Please be you the one who survives the battle. If those fuckers return here, I may not be able to keep the cops away from me and the twins. With Roman. Same time. The beloved crime lord had a good day so far. Why? Would you ask? Because his new business partners proved to be very useful. Those three could do more than any goon could dream of doing. Yes, there is the downside of having to share equally the spoils with them, but who cares? If he can convince them to remain partners even after this dumb assassination is over, he would gain more than ever. He could aim to become more than a mere crime leader. He could play in the big league. His scroll started to vibrate. Cinder was calling him. Just great. Hello my fair lady. How can I help you? First you could stop acting so strangely happy. However, I guess that I can let you have at least this. Impressed with my work? I am impressed with the work of our new allies. Your only credit in this was finding them. Way to destroy the good mood. I am going to go ahead and say that you called to tell me when are those dumb animals going to come and take the dust. You know, it's getting kind of cramped in here with all this stuff. They will be there in a couple of hours. Prepare to move everything. You got it. But I have to warn you, we may need more bullheads than you think. I got twice the amount that you ordered. And one last thing. The guys want their payment. They already got pretty angry when they didn't got the information that you promised 2 days ago. The fat one put in the hospital those 2 girls that worked at Junior's place when they tried to calm him down. Don't worry about that. They got those files a couple of minutes ago. Now resume to your work and don't fail. She closed. Edgy woman. One day, I am going to make you work for me. Just you wait Cinder, he mumbled under his breath. His head bolted toward the door that suddenly opened. His partners decided to pay him a visit. Ranga, good pal. You and your brothers decided to visit little old me. I am touched. What can I help you with? Ranga, the oldest of the 3 brothers, please go and search. How do they look like? Spoke first. Nothing for now. Me, Ruga and Jiga wanted to come and see how are things going here. He showed Roman a friendly smile while his brothers remained silent. Very well actually. As soon as the animals reach this place, we will start to move everything. He put one of his cigarettes in his mouth and lighted it. By the way, I am glad that you came here. If it isn't too much of a bother for you Jiga, could you use that ability of yours to help us move the iron crates faster? The cops are getting more active with each passing day, so we are running out of time. My boss wants me to leave the city today. He tried to be as polite as possible. This is how you make business in his line of work. Play the fool until they fall in your trap. Renga's eyes narrowed. Leaving the town already? I thought that you were not messing around when you told us that you will pay our service. His tone was threatening. The crime lord was confused. He held his cigarette between 2 fingers. What do you mean? I paid you? I helped you to establish your group in Vale. You got half of the monies that were stolen by our men's. You got all the information necessary for your assassination attempt and even some extra. What do you want more? You said that you will help us kill our target, said Ruga. Roman spread his hands, and that's what I did. I gave you the locations that are most frequented by him. His affiliations. Where does he lives and his usual schedule during weekend. Well, at least that's what I said to the guys that gathered the information to look for. If anything from this list is missing, then it's their fault, not mine. He returned to his cancer stick. But he is not dead yet, said Jiga. Even you, big guy. I pointed the gun at this guy's head. You only have to pull the trigger. And allow me to express my opinion, but this is already fucking overkill. Any of you could just go ahead and kill him. Don't underestimate him. This was the reason for the death of many fools. Right? Yeah, sure. This guy looks like a pushover. Why do you even want to kill him? The three brothers stayed quiet for a second until the eldest burst in laughter. It took him a couple of seconds to recompose. You have to learn more about the world, Roman. However, I will amuse you. We want him dead so we can become kings. Was Roman's answer to this declaration. Renga put a hand on Roman's shoulder. Look. Me and my brothers don't want to be just any masterminds that are going to fade away. We want to rule the entire underworld with an iron fist. However, the reign in this kind of world is established by fear and respect. If we manage to kill this person, none will ever oppose us in Elemental Nation. Killing this guy will make every criminal from your continent bow to you? He asked with a raised eyebrow and his hands crossed. Renga removed his hand and turned around. It doesn't matter if you fully understand or not. You just have to pay your debt. So I would say that you are too lazy to do your own dirty work. However, you did put me ahead of my schedule. When are you going to do it? Tomorrow. We too have to hurry. It's a shame that one of our branches was cut so early by the police, but it doesn't matter. Soon it will all be done. With that said, they left the room. And the fat one didn't help in the end. Nice, said Roman after he was sure that they were gone. But Team rwby, JNPR, Emerald and Mercury. 1745. Come on guys. We are almost there. Said Ruby with enthusiasm. If we get there sooner, the movie won't start sooner as well, said Yang with a chuckle. I know, but I want to buy a big bucket of popcorn with caramel. Ruby, you are going to get cavities. Cut some of the sugar from your diet, said Blake. She has been in the same team with her for less than a week and she is sure that Ruby eat more sugar than anyone she ever meet. Mercury and Emerald were in the back of the group. Emerald was angry all day but came with them nonetheless. You really know how to hold grudges. How long are you going to be like this? Asked Mercury. Until I get my hands on Neo, her scroll buzzed. Once she looked at it she saw that it was a message from Neo. Naruto and the others are at the docks. Need help. Fighting Roman. What do I do to get them away? Roman's transport, whispered Mercury in realization. We have to get there and make sure that the asshole doesn't get caught. Cinder still has use for him. How? We still have to keep our cover, he said until they all heard the one thing that brought them flashbacks of the initiation. In the distance they could see smoke rising high in the air. It came from the docks. Naruto? Asked John. This has his name all over it, said Weiss with a bitter look on her face. Screw the movie. We can watch it online another day, said Yang while running toward the explosion. The other followed her as well. I hope that you all left your weapons in the rocket lockers, said Blake. With Naruto. 40 minutes earlier. Naruto, Neo and Hinata were walking toward the docks. Kurenai and Shino confirmed that they can reach it in time. Neo was kind of anxious. She knew that Roman is hiding all the stolen dust there, but she has no idea if he is there or not. Nor does she knows what is he doing right now. For all that is worth, Naruto and the others might end up destroying their plan. Cinder is going to have her head on a plate if this happens while she is around. What can she do? Naruto hopped a roof of building along with Hinata. He was carrying Neo on his back. The others were there already. Hiba gave them a mix of annoyed and relieved look. Seriously now. We should have let you lead the way from the beginning. We wasted a night for nothing. Naruto let Neo down. It was my fault for having trust in whoever gave us the leads. I already knew that some of the guys that work in Vale's police are mostly trying to get money out of anything. For Raymond's sake, some of them must have been bribed or something. It's hard to believe that competent policemen would have missed this, he said while looking at the shady-looking guys who patrolled the area. They were not even hiding their guns and swords in kunais. You are seeing that as well? Kurenai nodded. Yeah, we noticed. Some of them are missing nins. None of them are stronger than a genin if what is said in the bingo book is true, but they are shinobi nonetheless. I can see why they were still genins. They are acting like thugs, said Shino, while searching for any individual that could be a problem to take out. Hinata, what can you see inside? She used her Byakugan to search throughout the buildings. There were some chakra signatures and aura. The difference between the two of them was not that big, so her eyes allowed her to find their location. While the chakra seems to mostly connect the one who have it to the surrounding, aura was self-preserving. It was close to the surrounding and it's trying to grow on its own. Unity and individuality. There are 3 shinobi inside along with 5 other people. One of them has more aura than the others. Roman came in Neo's mind. He must be there. So? How do we do it? Asked Naruto as he pulled the 7 stars blade out of his jacket along with Bashisan. Me and my team will get the ones outside. You can find a way and deal with the ones that are inside the building. Neo can. She's coming with me, declared the blonde. Even if she is found by one of those guys, she can put down any of them with easy. Come on, he motioned toward the edge of the roof. Use your ability and I will do the rest. Neo jumped on his back and worked on her magic. Team 7 couldn't even realize that Naruto jumped from their position and took a silent run toward the building. Dashing through the guards, they reached the entrance. Instead of opening it, he ran on the wall and got in via an open window. At this point, Neo stopped her semblance and got off again, making sure to not cause any sound. Naruto looked around the empty room that they got in. Inside were a desk and a couple of drawers. Nothing of interest. He made his way toward the door and listened to see if there was anyone on the other side. There were two voices. Both of them male. He looked at Neo and signaled her to hide behind the desk. He pressed his back on the wall, right beside the doorframe. He put aside his sword and took a kunai. He threw it in the window, breaking it. The sound made the two thugs on the other side open the door in a hurry to see what was the cause of it. From behind the open door, as they entered, Naruto saw that these guys were dressed with white armor. Definitely not ordinary thugs. He slowly closed the door with his left hand and prepared to use Bashisin. By the time he nearly shut the door, the two realized that they were not alone. However, it was too late. Scroll of wind. They were slammed in a wall hard enough to bet knocked out. Neo got out from her hiding spot after hearing the thud. Naruto took his jacket off and pushed the bodies inside the pocket dimension. "Come on. The rest are downstairs," he said before getting out of the room. A set of stairs lead down to the first floor. The two of them were met with the sight of hundreds of crates and many containers. All of them were stacked to the point where there was barely enough space to move around. Our protagonist put Bashisin back in his jacket after seeing that any hit with could backfire really hard. Neo was happy. If he uses that fire attack that he used during the initiation, they will be blown to pieces. And she can't even warn him about it since she isn't supposed to know what the criminals have in those crates. She could only hope that he was not going to pull out his other sword. "So what's the deal with all these anti-Fronis thing?" they heard from somewhere to the other side of the room. They start walking toward the sound. "Are you joking?" asked another person. His voice was way deeper. "No, I just don't understand what's the big deal. There are guys who walks around with horns on their heads and natural-born bunny girls. What's so bad? For the love of I can't believe you actually said that." Naruto and Neo got close enough to see what is going on. They saw the supposed aura users, who were all wearing white armor and masks, along with three missing nins. One of them was from Iowa, while the others were from Kusa. They were all standing in an open area in front of the exit used to load trucks. The space was enough for them to move freely around. "What? Don't tell me that you didn't think about that," said one of the Kusa nins to the other. "Will you just shut up? I don't even know why do I even stick around you sometimes," responded the other before looking at the obvious owner of the deeper voice. It was a tall and bulky man with what seems to be a combination between a sword and a chainsaw. "Sorry about him. However, he does have a point. Are the people here really acting like toward you just because you have animal traits? That's not even the strangest thing that I ever heard about." If it wasn't for the mask, the two missing could have seen the raised eyebrow on the bulky man's face really now. And would that be then? Naruto got closer to Neo. "Go to their left and wait for my signal. It shouldn't be hard to take out this guys. Just keep an eye on the big. He looks dangerous." Neo nodded. "There is no problem in taking them down since Roman is not here. He can always steal everything again. This is the most that she can do at this point without blowing her cover." Turning invisible once again, she moved without making a sound. "We literally hear about Stranger Things every day back in Elemental Nation," the Kusanin answered the question. "Yeah, like that creeper Orochimaru. Damn that guy to hell," said the other one. "He especially. Seriously. Even if Fronis would be bipedal animals, that guy would still be way weirder. I didn't even saw him in person. Just hearing about all the sick experiments that he does on people makes me want to throw up. Or even those three brothers." "Your bosses?" asked the bulky man. Even if talking to humans was his least favorite thing to do, the ones from Elemental Nation seem more open-minded. To the point where they were nearly agreeable. "I am actually starting to regret working with them. I have to watch over my shoulder just so I don't get screwed. Those guys are way too paranoiacs. I am telling you right away, don't trust them too much. Everyone feels the same, but we can't do anything." The big brother executed someone in public just because he showed singes of before he could finish his sentence. He along with his friend and two of the 5 aura users were hit by an invisible force that sent them flying after hearing wind blade. All 4 of them found themselves buried after they hit a large pile of crates. One of them opened, spilling its content on the floor, showing red crystals. "Now." Naruto got up from his hiding place with his sword ignited with a blue glow. The giant Fronis prepared for battle with his weapon drawn. The Iowa missing nin took out a gun that he pointed at the incoming blonde. "Eat this." He fired his first round that was cut in half by Naruto's blade. The second one was dodged and hit a container. Before he could shoot the third one, the bulky man hit him in head with enough strength to make him fall. "Don't shoot, you fucking idiot. You will blow up the place." Raising his sword, he clashed with Naruto's sword. As the aura-covered chainsaw and the chakra-coated blade collided, sparks flew in all directions. They pulled their swords back and prepared for the next strike. Naruto tried a hit from below, but he was stopped by his opponent who continued with a swing at his middle section. While they exchanged blows, the remaining three tried to circle Naruto, and the Iwa Nin got up. One of them made sure to face the door as he aimed for Naruto. Before he could shoot, Neo appeared and took him out with a kick to the head. The other two drew their sword and attacked her as the Iwa Nin searched for a kunai. Neo blocked the two incoming swords with her umbrella and used her leg one again to hit one of them under the chin, sending him back stumbling. This gave her enough time to catch the other one by the hand, kick him in the stomach and twist his arm behind his back. When the other one tried to attack again, she pushed the other one into him. After they regained their composure, they tried to hit her at the same time, only for her image to shatter into pieces. Not sure about what happened, they looked in confusion until one of them got knocked out from behind. When the other one saw her, she already used her aura-coated umbrella to him in the head. Meanwhile, Naruto blocked another swing from his opponent. This guy tried his best to push him back in order to get away from the crystals spilled on the floor. The Iwa Nin tried to stab in the back from behind, but Naruto dodged. Now, with to be careful about, our hero jumped back. You really know how to use that weapon of yours, don't you, big guy? Sorry to say that I have to cut this short. He pushed more chakra into his sword, making the blue aura around her seem like an actual extension of the blade. The bulky man tried to hit with a vertical strike, only for Naruto to cut through the chainsaw with his sword. Pieces from the chain flew everywhere as his weapon lost its entire blade. Too shocked after seeing this, the man could respond in time when Naruto hit him with another wind blade that sent him flying in the door. The metal bent due to the force that slammed him into it. The Iwa Nin stood unmoved. Naruto gave him a raised eyebrow. Do me a favor. Make it easy for me. In exchange I will not hurt you. He pointed his sword at him. The Iwa Nin quickly let go of his kunai and got on his knees with his hands raised in the air. Neo got next to Naruto and tugged on his sleeve. Don't worry, Neo. I got this. Help me get those guys from under the crates. You two, he pointed toward the Iwa Nin, don't get any funny ideas. My friends are outside taking down the rest. He reluctantly did as he was told and start taking the metal boxes away from the bodies of his fallen comrades. Naruto did the same and Neo dragged one dude from under the pile. Soon, the four unconscious man's bodies were placed near the bulky one. The Iwa looked down at his gun. Don't even think about it. He glanced at Naruto, who's staring at him. Bring the other three as well. Scared of what might happen, he took one with each arm and Naruto threw the last one over his shoulder like a sack of potatoes. During this time, Neo searched through the pockets of the terrorists for money and anything interesting. So far, she found only some gum, a wallet with not very much cash in it, a couple of knives and throwing stars. She kept all of them in a pouch that she took from one of the missing nin. When Naruto and the Iwa Nin threw the bodies on top of the other ones, Neo tried her best to act like she didn't took anything. Naruto quickly punched the last man in the face and it was lights out for him as well. His partner gave him a questioning look. What? I didn't hurt him. He searched through his jacket and pulled out a large piece of material. It was like a black blanket for 20 persons. He tossed it over the knocked out terrorists and like in a magic trick they all disappeared. Neo watched as he rolled the blanket and put back in. He turned toward her and moved his index finger to his lips. She smiled and made a locked lips motion with a smile. He went toward the door and pushed a button that made the door up, but not entirely due to the bent. The blonde had to duck a bit to get out. Outside, teammate was waiting for them with unconscious bodies here and there. Kurenai seemed a bit annoyed. I guess that discretion is not your best skill. What makes you think that? A certain kunai and someone getting slammed into a metal door. Haven't you thought that it would have alerted the ones outside? You tell me. You were supposed to take those out, answered Naruto with his arms crossed beside. The stronger enemies were inside, weren't they? Deciding to not go further into this, Kurenai asked a more important question. Where are the ones inside? They are safe. I just put them aside for interrogation. Neo made a victory pose with both her hands showing the V sign and her toothy grin on her lips. Biba jerked his head to the side after hearing something. Guys. I think that we should celebrate later, he said while pointing at the sky. 5 bullheads were coming toward them and none of them announced the police yet. Neo, said Naruto. She understood what he meant without any troubles and used her semblance to hide herself. He took Bashisan out and prepared for battle. The others did the same. When the airships were close enough, Naruto yelled scroll of lightning as one powerful concentrate wave of lightning flew toward the leading bullhead, hitting it in its wing and making it fall into the water. The other 4 reached a low enough altitude for the passengers to hope down. Mans dressed in white armor surrounded them in no time. Who the hell are these guys? Asked Kiba while making sure face the incoming treats. They all formed a circle in order to not have their backs uncovered. Terrorists. They call themselves White Fang. Am I the only one who thinks that is funny to say this to you? I mean, you have a huge-ass white dog, and your name means Fang. His allies glanced at him for a moment, even Akamaru not the moment. Okay. What about this? Scroll of Earth. A circular wall of rock erupted from the ground around them, protecting them from an incoming wave of bullets. Before the White Fang members could approach the new structure, many bugs came toward them from the bottom of it. The sheer number made them open fire, hoping to kill some before they could get close. The bugs, who were not even bothered by the bullets, started to pile themselves on some of the unlucky members. Not able to even comprehend if they were going left or right anymore, due to the constant buzzing in their ears and their covered eyes, they dropped their guns and tried to make their way toward water. Pitsuga. The ones that were not covered in bugs were surprised after seeing a mini tornado jumping in the air and then coming towards some of them. When the tornado disappeared, Kiba and Akamaru were seen, engulfed in a thin layer of energy. The others jumped out from their shelter as well, with Kurenai, Hinata, Shino and Sai covered in the same way. Roman witnessed that before getting out of one of the bullheads that just landed. He got a good look at who was dumb enough to mess with him until his eyes meet Naruto. Raising his cane, he shot a couple of his explosive projectiles toward them, mainly on Naruto. His eyes bolted toward the incoming tornado that was mere meters away. He shot it before it could reach him, sending both Kiba and Akamaru to the ground a couple of meters back. Thanks to the chakra armor they were fine, but shaken nonetheless. Having enough of it already, Roman started to shoot in their direction without even aiming, barely glancing at where is he pointing his weapon. This was an attempt to gain enough time to call the brothers, as it was clear who had the upper hand in this battle. Those useless White Fang members were taken down like they were nothings. The oldest brother finally answered, "You guys better move your asses here right now. Your target is here and he is destroying my plans." He yelled in anger. "Don't worry, we will be there in no time. Hold them where they are and we will take him down," said him with a calm voice. "Hurry up. He is not alone." He couldn't finish as Naruto unleashed a wave of fire toward him. He was getting annoyed with the constant barrage of explosive bullets. Unknown to either of them, Renga was already watching the whole thing via his ice mirrors. But Renga and his brothers. The man was holding his hands in front of him as many snowflakes-like mirrors aligned one after another. They were on top of a tall building near the docks. "Your information were truly helpful, Captain," he said before looking behind. Botham was a slim, middle-aged man with black hair that started to turn white and a beard that was dressed in a police uniform. He was looking impatient. "Don't try to play the nice guy act. I did as you said and gave those guys wrong info all night. You don't have any idea how hard it was for me and the others to keep track of them. I want more than we established at the beginning," he said with confidence. Renga smiled at him. "Don't worry. A good job must be paid as deserved. Go with Jiga and call the others and tell them to meet you two at the location pointed by him. There you will get every lien that I promised you and an extra. However, before that I would be thankful if you will command the police to stop the access toward the docks in a couple of minutes," he said as he raised his right arm up. Unseen to many, a giant magnifying glass made out of ice formed high in the air, pointed at the docks. "It seems that soon a gas leak will cause pretty big explosion." "Whatever," said the man as he followed Jiga. Ruga smiled deviously after the captain left. "Such a shame that Roman didn't make it. Isn't it, brother? Guess that we will have to offer our condolences for his death to his boss." He got near the edge and gave his brother a last glance. "I will go and make sure that there will be no survivors to tell the tale. After all, the legends always start better with mystery." Indeed. May their ashes scatter in the wind. With that, the youngest brother started to run on the side of the building until he was low enough to safely jump to the roof of the next one. Usually he doesn't use this ability during this time due to the weak sunlight. However, this time he doesn't need power. He needs precision. Back with Naruto. As our protagonist fought against Roman, the others were taking out the remaining enemies. Sai was using only his sword as he saw no point into wasting his technique on such weak combatants. Even so, he made sure to keep an eye on Naruto during this time. He usually uses Shibuki as his main weapon, but he doesn't have any problems fighting with other weapons. He truly is a swordsman of the mist. As he analyzed the fight, his attention was caught by a light that was reflected by something. It trailed on the ground until it reached the door that Naruto used to exit the building. When the light touched the crates it got smaller and smaller until it was concentrated in a tiny dot whose heat melted the metal crate. And next thing many of them remembered were flames. And for some unfortunate ones, it was also be the last thing they will ever remember. And done. What if Naruto saves Ruby and rwby? End here, and thanks for watching my video till the end.